Here we go. 4, 3, 2. Boom. And we're live. Hello, Miriam.
Hi, Joe.
Good to see you. Grab this mic and keep it like a fist from your face. That's a good reference point.
Is this good?
Perfect.
It's good. Okay.
Perfect.
Just a lip like that.
Yeah. Good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
Good. I'm sad that you can't sell these snacks everywhere because I know you're working on making these mass produced, but they're fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
They're very good. Yeah. When did you first give me some of these? Like 5 years ago or some shit?
2014?
Something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, my knee blew out. I just had surgery, and I needed something to do. So
That was knee number 1.
the second one.
That was the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had 2 more since. So I've had 4 total.
The life of a world champion Muay Thai kickboxer is not an easy one.
No, it actually started when I started grappling.
That's when it started blowing your knee out?
Yeah. No, Muay Thai was fine. I got cracked ribs. I got cut. I got maybe concussions.
Maybe concussions?
Really bad, like broke my elbow on somebody's head. Yeah, but no knee stuff. It was the MMA. Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, wrestling and jiu-jitsu are rough on the knees.
I think this motion, I'm not awesome on the cartilage. It's like a weird motion.
You mean like hip stuff? Like
when you do like that with your...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like on your back, like working your guard, that kind of thing? That's what you think did it?
Well, I just, and 20 years of use on this body. Yeah.
Well, it puts weight in weird ways on your knees too. Like if someone's trying to pass your guard and they're moving your ankles
You have
around
to swivel.
stuff. Yeah.
You have to swivel with their weight and their violence directed at you. So, yeah.
I saw you getting a bunch of fluid on Instagram shot into there. What is that all about?
I think it was like Orthovisc.
What is that?
It did not help.
No?
That was a waste of money. It was
like a gooey fluid.
Yeah, it was like padding.
Oh, is that what the idea is?
But what was really nice was I got a straight shot of ibuprofen in there. That felt amazing. Yeah, like 3 months worth of ibuprofen, just shot it right in there.
Really?
Yeah.
That shit is so bad for you, though.
It felt really good.
Yeah, I tell everybody to stay the fuck away from ibuprofen.
Really?
Yeah, Dr. Rhonda Patrick was the first person that alerted me to it, the increased risk of strokes and heart attack. And then my friend Cam Haynes, who's an ultramarathon runner, he was taking 800 milligrams a day, every day.
Okay, for how long?
Forever.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's different.
It is different.
I just got one super shot.
Well, he basically runs almost a marathon a day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, because he runs these 240-mile races. So he was having these serious pains. Like he's like, I need it to get going. So I told him about all the heart attack stuff and the stroke stuff. He's like, fuck. So he gets off of it. All of his inflammation relaxes and calms down. Turns out what was going on was the ibuprofen severely upsets your gut bacteria. And so when that happens, it causes systemic inflammation, which you then treat with ibuprofen. So he takes out the ibuprofen, all the gut problems go away, all the inflammation goes away, all his hip pains, knee pains, all that shit went away, which is crazy. I think ibuprofen is great if you do it just rarely. So something's going on, you need...
What I noticed when he shot into my knee, I immediately, like within the next week, over the course of a couple of days, I noticed that I had greater range of motion. So what it made me realize was like, oh, I had a little inflammation in there. Because I kept thinking, was like, is it the tissue tight?
Is this homeboy shooting, what is he shooting in here in this video?
Orthovisc.
This is that stuff that
with
didn't
no
work.
gloves on.
Yeah, what's that about?
Commenting
aren't you supposed to have gloves on? What kind of fucking doctor is this? Where were you, in a garage somewhere?
In a free clinic.
So what? Oh, yo, look at you. So what is that Orthovisc stuff supposed to do?
It's supposed to like give it padding. Yeah, it didn't really help. It was a waste of money and time.
How much does that shit cost?
I think it was like $200 or $220 a shot, and I just got 3 of them.
Maybe it's for like regular people. Maybe it would work for regular people, not for people that are throwing a lot of kicks. You know,
The kicks don't bother me.
I bet it is in the kicks, right? I think about that like it is grappling, right? That is the thing that puts the most wear on your. If you talk like you meet like old kickboxers, I mean, some of them have brain damage for sure.
Yeah.
But their bodies aren't as broken down as old grapplers.
No, they might be hobbling a little bit.
Yeah.
Their toes might kind of. You seen Rob? Rob Kamen, remember him?
Oh yeah, Rob's
his
are all
toes are
fucked
like.
up. Rob's foot looked like he jumped into a pool that was empty and landed on his big toe.
Yeah, all of them.
But when you're a guy like Rob who's been kicking shins and elbows for so long, he's amazing.
It sucks. It hurts my heart that he missed the curve. He missed it. You know,
the fame wave.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because he's brilliant. He's fucking brilliant.
He really is.
Yeah.
And he helped a lot of fighters too. I mean, he was a big part of Brennan Vera's early success.
Yeah.
And that's when I was training with him back in the old Bomb Squad days.
Yep.
And, you know, he was working with a lot of kickboxers, and people were starting to catch on to his whole system.
I couldn't even, when I got to work with him, and I couldn't, at the time, I was so green as a fighter or just as a martial artist that I couldn't comprehend what he was trying to show me and tell me. And he's like, no, you're going to have programs, counters to the counters.
Yeah.
And he was like trying to dial me in, program me in, and I couldn't keep up with him.
Right.
You know, at the time, I was just too, I wasn't at that level.
Well, you know what the difference is? Like some people just use athleticism and timing, and they just try to be creative. What he does is he has a full system of like what to do in varying positions and what to do depending upon your opponent's reaction. Yeah. But then on top of that, there's also creativity, which is
and savagery.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a savage motherfucker.
He's very savage.
Well, his highlight reel. Pull up Rob Kamen's highlight reel. I mean, he
and
knocked
that porn
out
stash.
back in the Dizzy, right?
The porn stash.
That's thin Rob Kamen. But it's really incredible when you think about like how many great fighters came out of Holland and kickboxers in particular. It's just one small country, and here it is right here. Get to see some of it. Look at Rob Kamen pulling up in a motorcycle. Sexy bitch. So stoic too.
Angry.
Well, back in the day he was, which is really interesting if you know him now because he's so friendly and huggy and
he's like a big fluffy dog.
Yeah, he's a fascinating guy. He really is. But his knowledge of kickboxing is just so fucking tremendous.
I love how he's sit down on his punches like a boxer and like shifting his weight. Because I don't see a lot of kickboxers that do that well.
Yeah, well,
they're still here,
right?
And then they rotate, but they don't. He's like really kind of getting in here, you know, like a boxer more.
Do you think that's because when you do dig down, you're sort of compromising your ability to throw kicks for a brief moment because you're really digging in? But he knows when to do it too. It's his fight IQ, right?
Yeah, it's knowing when to do it, and it's also, my pet peeve with Muay Thai. Look at him. My pet peeve with Muay Thai is when they throw punches, they kind of come up. It's like very triumphant looking, isn't it? It's like, and it's like, that doesn't make any fucking sense because you won't punch with power, not the same power, and you can't get out of the way.
Why do you think they do that?
I just think they weren't taught well. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I just recently started changing my style, you know, but when you kick, you're up, you kind of come up into the kick, you know, you like raise up, and then they try to punch in that way. And I really feel like just with mixed martial arts, when you are doing wrestling, you have to like be respectful that you're doing MMA fight, but kind of embody that, you know, that wrestling technique. When you're punching, you got to embody that punching technique. When you're kicking, you got to embody that kicking technique. And same with jiu-jitsu. Like you wouldn't stand as a Muay Thai fighter if you're doing a wrestling move in an MMA fight.
Of course.
And I think with Muay Thai fighters, they don't understand that. It's like when you're punching, you need to like kind of sit down and rotate. You got to rotate, I like to say.
Rotate?
Rotation. You got to have good rotation. And then when they kick, they got to come up. When they knee, they got to come up. You know, it's different. And they don't make that distinction, and then they don't optimize on their body and the power that they could produce.
That's always been a big issue with MMA is fighters trying to figure out exactly how to position themselves and how to move, and then all the variables, right? How many different ways there are to do it really successfully. Like you see how Conor McGregor stands, wide stance, kind of sideways. He stands almost like a karate guy.
He's built it around his strong weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas different guys have, different ways of doing, like, Daniel Cormier, very different style. Hands up high, moves forward, a lot of bobbing and weaving. He's much more like a boxer.
He doesn't really give a fuck if you get your hands on him, though.
No.
Where Conor does.
Right.
Where Conor's like, you stay away from it. It's more like, stay away.
Exactly.
And his is more like, come at me, bitch.
Yeah, grab me, bitch.
I'm going to come and get you. Yeah,
exactly.
So it's different. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But it's fascinating also how a lot of people that come from certain backgrounds, like even wrestlers who come from a wrestling background, they have to alter their own wrestling style for MMA. Like a lot of wrestlers, specifically guys who stand in an orthodox position when they're boxing. But if they were a right-handed wrestler, a lot of times they'd be standing southpaw.
Yeah.
And they'd be shooting with the right leg forward. So it's a lot of
judo too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's a lot of weird. Like MMA is such a different thing. It's so different. There's it's where all the pieces come together, and some of them don't line up that good.
Yeah. I think the best people are the ones that can make it line up.
Sure. Yeah. And
with the most fluidity.
When you see, particularly you, because you're a world champion Muay Thai fighter, and when you see the level of stand-up in MMA, for sure now with women, it's the highest it's ever been, right? Like right around now. But it's still not quite the level that you would see in like championship Muay Thai, except for girls like Valentina and
She's
Joanna.
amazing.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Yeah. Cyborg, of course, is very scary.
She is. She's so nice.
Super nice, right?
Grab
this. Pull that.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Close here?
Yeah, you can move it around.
Oh. There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you met her?
Yeah.
Have you really?
I feel bad for making fun of her. So I've made fun of her before.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't.
She's very nice.
She's so nice. She's just got like this really tender soul or heart, and which is funny because
which seems genuine.
Yeah, very genuine.
Yeah,
very, very genuine.
You see her smashing people. It's like,
well, that's genuine too.
Yeah.
See, it's like so whatever it is, it's 100%, and there's something really rare, and so powerful because people aren't 100%.
Right.
They aren't 100% like fully like just heartbroken, wide open. Soft, and then they're not 100%, violent. Right. And she's just like 100%. So cool about her.
Yeah, that's interesting, right? Like when she fights, she's 100% committed and violent. And that's something that you see in a lot of champions. It's like there's an ability there's an ability to be like a really nice person and then a terrible person. Or not even a terrible person, a furious competitor.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you first started fighting, did you just find that inside of you? Did you know it was always there? Like because you're a person that if I had to explain you, like you're like very energetic and fun loving. You're a very nice person.
Skipping around your studio.
You're fun.
Like,
you're a fun person. I mean, we probably met in like, I want to say it was 2003. It was the Bomb Squad days.
I was about 28.
Yeah, back
and I'm 42.
In the Dizzy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you've always been like that. But then when I've seen you fight, like this is a different Miriam. Like when Miriam comes to fight, it's like, oh, she got a little switch in there.
Yeah.
You hit a switch and then you become a different person. And then it's not just that you're a competitor. You become super hyper focused and aware and ruthlessly aggressive. Yeah. Did you know that was always in you before you fought?
I always knew that I would always have trouble with girlfriends. And I don't mean like dating. I mean like trying to have a girl that's a friend when I was younger because I would hurt them.
You'd hurt them physically?
Yeah.
Accidentally?
Yeah.
Like what do you
I
mean?
was wrestling around with this one woman. I was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be friends. We're like the same height, and we're wrestling around, playing around after we were like partying in Vegas." And we're wrestling, and I wrapped my legs around her rib cage and squeezed and cracked something in there.
Oh. Where were you? You were on the ground?
We went to like Utopia, and then we went to this after party afterwards. And we went to
and you were drunk?
I was like in my 20s, drunk or whatever, or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever.
And she was my size. So I thought, she wanted to wrestle too. So I was like, okay, I'll wrestle too. And
ouch. Yeah,
I cracked something in there, and she didn't want to be my friend anymore.
She was mad at you?
Yeah, I was really sad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you probably got off light. Anybody gets upset that,
yeah.
It's not like you meant to hurt her.
No. But I'd be pretty...
Why the fuck? That is a weird thing that people do, right? I mean, I've seen guys do it and girls do it, where they start play wrestling, but they have no fucking idea what they're doing, and then they hurt themselves.
And they bite off more than they could chew.
Well, it's a common thing for whatever reason. People get a little drunk or whatever, and then they want to wrestle.
So what I used to do is I used to let people play around like with me, and then I ended up getting stabbed in the eyes.
Oh, with fingers?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah, so now I don't. I'm like, all right, cool.
That's the number one
I don't want to
problem.
play with you anymore at MMA.
For sure. The fucking gloves. I fucking hate it. There's so many guys. Like, look at Michael Bisping. He has one eye that's like completely fucked up. So he's got oil in his eye.
They should penalize more higher for that.
100%.
Yeah, I think that the behavior would decrease.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think 1 point. I think 1 point for a nut shot and 1 point for an eye poke. Just period.
Yeah.
You didn't mean to do it. That's great, but you did it. So
well, for the second nut shot.
No, first nut shot.
Really?
First nut shot, first eye poke.
And because I don't have nuts, so I'm a little bit more lenient on that one. I'm like, well, whatever.
Well, Brian Foster is a dude who fought for the UFC back in the day. He lost a nut. It's not funny. How dare you?
I knew somebody. Okay, so so what it reminded me of this guy that was at the old Fairtex Clementina back when Alex Gon was there, and so the rumor had it that he had one ball, and he was kind of grumpy and sort of like insecure.
Because he only had one ball.
I guess so. So I just thought of him. And it just made me laugh.
Just laughed? Okay.
So it's not,
sense. So it's not just balls in general.
No, but that would be super painful to lose one of those.
Apparently what happened with him is he was sparring and like one last round decided not to wear his cup and went out there and slambo took one right on the sack and it burst. He's still fighting. I saw him on a smaller one of those, Access TV fights recently.
It reminds me of when the breast implant gets ruptured.
Oh, that's so much worse than a breast implant.
It's all over the place.
But then the little breast implant helped you be a woman.
System.
It would be like if a breast implant helped you be a woman, because that's like the sac that produces your testosterone. Yes. What a stupid design.
He has half less.
Yeah. Well, another buddy of mine lost one to cancer, and he just impregnated his lady, so it still works.
Yay!
To you, Duncan, a toast.
To Duncan. That's awesome.
Yeah, but we're talking about getting kicked in the balls. Oh yeah, 1 point, just 1 point for eye pokes, 1 point for ball shots. Just take a point away every time. I think that would be giant.
I think that's fair.
It would fucking help. There's so many people doing this.
The thing is, a good eye poke will change the fight.
100%.
It can sway the fight one way or the other.
Yeah.
So and people, they've gotten poked in the eye, the ref lets it continue, and then they get fucked up, and then they lose a fight that they were winning.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It's terrible. It's a huge swing. I think 1 point, absolutely, and I think there should be a better way to determine whether or not a guy's eyes have been compromised by that eye poke, and sometimes it's not everybody wants to see the fight continue, but if you really had to think about it, like if this guy really can only see out of one eye, it's not right.
Yeah. Especially when it wasn't their fault.
But it's also such a fucking shit design. All your fingers are just out there.
Maybe they should just curve them more.
Yeah.
Like the same design, just curved.
Well,
so it automatically, like when you have a good hand wrap, like when they wrap your hands for the fight, when it's a good one, they just sit like this.
Yes.
Like your hands just sit there. So they're just already ready to, it's perfect.
Well, there's someone that I know that's working closely with the UFC that's working on a new design that I think is going to be far superior.
Okay.
But still, the fingers are exposed. I think almost like the fingers should be covered. And
but how are they going to grab though?
But I think you cover it like a bag glove. You know how bag gloves, like those old school Everlast bag gloves?
That would be amazing for me.
Yeah.
For a grappler, I don't think they'd like
But
that.
I think it'd be good for a grappler too. If I had a
don't
grapple
know,
with
man.
bag gloves on, I don't think I'd have a problem with it.
It'd be
The real
harder
problem
to
is
grab the,
maybe.
like a wrestler, and they.
I don't know. I think it'd give you more traction, honestly.
Really?
The real problem is the pad on the knuckle, like when you're going behind the neck, when you're choking, you're going behind it's very hard to get that fucker behind the neck
Thought about this.
without that padding. It is. It's hard. I've grappled with, I've never had an MMA fight, but I had grappled quite a bit with gloves. What are these?
Those
Jamie?
are the sparring
Typed
ones.
in grappling gloves and
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like. what
Yeah,
you're
those are
talking
just
about,
like
fucked up, these.
those are just a little bit more padding. But those, yeah, I mean that's a little bit better. Pride gloves were better, honestly. Quite honestly,
There's no curve
Pride
enough.
gloves really had much more curve to them.
Yeah.
and
I
there was
said-
very few eye pokes in Pride.
I won't even fuck with a boxing glove that doesn't curve. Like it doesn't like if I have to make a fist inside the glove, I'm not going to deal with that. That looks good.
See, this is
Yeah.
like someone had observed this a long time ago. That look at the UFC gloves on the right and the Pride gloves on the
Yeah.
left. The Pride glove is your hands curved.
So that's a Pride glove.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
It's a
that's
way better
way
glove.
better.
It's a way better glove.
Yeah.
And the back of your hand is like padded in a weird spot. I don't know why they pad right here, like right above the wrist.
Wait.
Scroll, make that like right there. That one. Like, what's
You
that?
know, though, if you did a spinning back
Yeah.
fist and
Right.
you hit, these are little bones.
Yeah,
break
they
that
do
shit.
break. But most of
Yeah.
the time you're doing that, you're hardly ever doing it like a back fist. You're kind of doing it like a hammer fist. And then the real thing is happening with a lot of fighters is they're hitting foreheads, snapping arms.
That's
you know?
the one.
Paul Felder
punch,
just did that.
If you hit me with, I'll fucking
You get mad?
get so mad.
Why do you get mad?
I don't know.
Spinning
It's
back
just
fisted.
bullshit. It's just bullshit.
Why is it bullshit?
Some fucking bullshit ass. I don't know.
It's a bullshit move.
Just bullshit.
Some people have moves that they feel are bullshit moves. if they get
Yeah,
hit
that's
with
why
them.
I'm just like offended.
Like if somebody axe kicked you,
No, I don't care.
that wouldn't be bullshit?
No, if they push kicked me in the face, I wouldn't care.
Okay.
I'd be like, all right.
But a spinning back
Yeah.
fist, bullshit.
I'm offended.
But it's so good. It's such a good technique,
I know,
though.
just some fucking cornball about that.
Okay, what about spinning elbows, though?
Yells are awesome.
That
And I'm
doesn't make
not
any
great at
sense.
them.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. I contradict
Doesn't
myself.
have to. Doesn't
Yeah,
have to make
no.
sense, right?
No.
Yeah, it is weird, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think they should allow spinning back fists in boxing. Make boxing way more interesting. Can you imagine how everybody would be so cocky, you know?
Oh my god.
So many guys
Do you know
that
how
think they're safe.
mad the boxing fans would be?
How many guys would get flatlined? How many guys who don't know what the fuck to do about it? Your standard fucking spin. Pwah.
And Superman punches.
Yeah. Well, Superman punches, I think, are legal, right? Aren't they? Well, they wouldn't react the same way, right? No one would think you're throwing a leg kick
Why is mine slat? Is it because
because you have all this hair.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm bald as fuck.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. Oh, form fitted. There you
There
go.
we go.
That's better.
Okay.
Yeah, but why can't they spinning back fist in boxing?
I don't know.
Should be able to.
They're purists.
They are very purist.
Yeah.
But I see where they're coming from in a certain way. Like when boxers talk shit about MMA and striking in MMA, I see where they're coming from. They're wrong because your shit won't work. Like,
Yeah.
come try that shit.
Yeah.
You're going to get taken down, stupid. Like, this is the
I
whole
act-
reason why they do it a different way.
But I actually do believe that a boxer with incredible footwork and a jab, a great jab, could survive and win in an MMA fight.
As long as he doesn't fight a long guy with good kicks, like a John Jones. John Jones just kicked the shit out of you from a distance.
Yeah.
And you're not even
Yeah.
going to get close to him. And then by the time you've eaten all those leg kicks, you're not moving so good.
Yeah,
And then
that's
he'll
fair.
grab a hold of you and
Okay.
smash your face in.
I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think footwork is the key.
Do you remember when Vince Foster, when he was not quite world class anymore, he'd lost the title?
See, this is what worries me because I don't remember shit.
You don't remember shit?
Way more of a fan than I am.
Well, he fought Masato. But when Masato was the king of K1 over in Japan,
Masato, the sexiest Japanese man I've ever seen.
pretty sexy.
Yeah, he's super
But
sexy.
is he sexier than Sexyama?
I don't know who Sexyama is.
What?
Pull up Sexyama.
You don't know who Sexyama is?
He's
Sexyama
Sexyama.
fought in the UFC several times. Fought in Pride.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. That's a great name, though.
He's gorgeous, gorgeous man.
I feel like that should be a super sushi roll.
There he is. There's Sexyama.
Oh, no,
That's what they call
Masato's way better looking.
Yeah, you say that. You're not in Sexyama's presence. Look at that.
I like the way he glows.
Yeah, look at him. Man's beautiful.
Look at those pecs.
Yeah, and he's got that cross dangling super low. What's going on with that?
So you look.
That cross, it's almost like a belly button ring or some shit.
It's like-
that's a deal
it's-
breaker, right? A dude with a belly button ring. How about that? A gorgeous guy with a belly button ring.
That
What do
means
you-
he's freaky
Is that what it means?
or too vain.
Or gay as fuck. More
Yeah.
likely. That's something men just never rock.
I think it means he's freaky or he takes too many selfies.
Yeah, definitely.
Which
takes too many
either,
selfies.
yeah.
Is that something any man has ever bravely tried to rock? I know guys do nipple rings. Like a real freaky dude
think
would
I've
do
seen it
nipple
once.
rings. You've seen a belly button ring on a
I
male?
think so. One time I saw a pierced.
Who's that?
That's
Masato.
Masato.
Oh, there he is. Beautiful. I thought you were showing me a belly button ring.
There's better pictures of him. There's better. He's really good
Masato's
looking.
very handsome.
Yeah.
And still is.
Yeah.
And, and still, is very active and all sorts of promotions and stuff
Did you
in Japan.
see when he fought? No, when he was gonna fight Petrosian, and Petrosian was killing Sauer.
And what happened?
It was supposed to be his
His swan song.
goodbye. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
And so he's watching Petrosian. I think it was Sauer destroy Andy Sauer, and he's just like
Fuck this.
he's
I'm
like
good. Pull up Masato versus Vince Phillips. Because what was interesting about this, it was like, do you remember when Shannon the Cannon decided to fight in K1 and he fought Tom Erickson in a kickboxing match? No? You don't remember? But that was a similar thing, but Tom Erickson was not, Tom Erickson was a wrestler who was an MMA fighter, and Shannon Briggs ate a couple of leg kicks and was talking about it on the podcast, like that he was trying to play it off. It was like, God damn, that shit hurt. But he wound up KOing Tom Erickson. But Tom Erickson at the time was not nearly the kind of striker that Vince Phillips was when Vince Phillips fought Masato. Vince Phillips had beaten world-class fighters. I think, who did he beat? He beat some fucking high-level world-class boxers. And then, he got like 36, 37, 38, and then took this 37? Fight. Was he 37 at the time?
I don't know.
So he fought Vince Phillips, but it was so weird seeing Vince Phillips walk out there barefoot. I mean, they should have let him wear boxing shoes.
At least.
Because he's not throwing any kicks.
yeah.
And Masato just, give me some.
Outfit.
Beautiful, man. Perfect bone structure.
Yeah. He's ridiculous.
Perfect hair, too. Look at
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah.
Stylish.
Oh yeah.
And Vince Phillips is like, what the fuck did I sign up for? Yeah, that feeling that they have when they
that, the
know they're
shoulder
about
pads.
to get leg kicked. So right away he opens up inside and just moves away from the punches, sets, goes up high a bunch of times, kicking into the arms, and then goes across the leg. See, that's a weird one, right? The across the thigh nut shot.
I never throw that one.
But this is at the time like one of the first times that a real world-class boxer had attempted a kickboxing fight. And that's
I love that he did this.
Franz Botha did that too. Do you remember Franz Botha? He was a heavyweight contender in boxing in
How much
the 80s and
time
90s.
a day do you dedicate to watching fights?
If you talk to my wife and ask her what she told me about 10 minutes ago, I will not remember what the fuck she said. There's a lot of shit that I don't remember. But I have like storage units in my brain and stuff
Fights.
like, oh, that's interesting. What happened there? This happened. Oh, why did that happen? Why did this go wrong? Oh, okay. Pull up Giorgio Petrosian versus Andy Sauer. Sauer.
Right,
Is it? No. How do you spell? Oh, here's Franz Botha.
SOU.
Yeah, SOU. So Franz Botha, this is Franz Botha fat as fuck
Yeah,
too.
this is
He had hit the wall. He was the white buffalo. He's a South African heavyweight. But he actually learned how to kick a little bit. And he was not just boxing guys, but his hands were just way better than most boxers, or most kickboxers rather. Because he was at one point in time a real heavyweight contender. This is not
Wait, which one
a
is-
good example of
Yeah,
this.
no, I just
Which one?
This is
Botha?
2015.
Yeah, this is
Holy
random,
shit,
recent.
dude! This is 2000. This guy was a fucking contender in the 90s.
We
He's already hurt.
Oop.
Yeah, this is.
Okay.
should have thrown a knee.
Bad example.
Did you watch the Chuck Liddell fight?
Just the end of it.
Yeah. Not good, right?
How old is he now?
50.
Damn.
Yeah.
So there's hope for me. Oh, wait, he lost. Shit.
Well, you've never been knocked out the way he's been knocked out so many times.
I don't think I've ever been knocked out.
Not in the gym, not ever.
Flash knockdown. That's it.
Knocked down. Yeah.
I've had concussions and been knocked out from like falling in the rain and falling off a second floor landing when I was a kid.
Right.
But in fighting, I never.
Chuck's also, I think there was an issue with his style because his style was so aggressive that people could just set, boom, and counter like Rashad Evans did with him. And so you're getting his momentum coming forward and the shot, and he would get flatlined.
He doesn't change.
No.
He doesn't
No.
evolve.
He had a style that was incredibly effective back in the day.
Yeah.
And I think he became married to that approach. You know, the approach that worked so well on Babalu, so well on Tito in the early fights. He was just a marauder. You could hit him in the face with a fucking crowbar and he would just spit metal out at you. He didn't give a fuck. He was so badass back in the day, and he relied on that so much.
I remember all the mohawks.
Yeah, everybody.
The little kids.
Yeah,
with
they
all
all
the,
liked to wear mohawks back in the day. People were
Iceman.
getting Japanese symbols tattooed on their head because of him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that style. Comes a certain point in time where you just can't do that anymore. You know.
I think I don't know. Like, it's a martial artist, you know, and artists evolve, and they're like, oh, well, let me try this new paint. Oh, let me try this new technique. Let me try this shading. Let me, start sculpting. Let me try. And I think with especially MMA, there's so much opportunity to evolve. Just add new nuances to you as an artist. I mean, I think that's what I love about it.
There certainly is, but one thing that does happen when guys try to add a lot of things, like say sometimes they'll try to, like, say a wrestler will add a bunch of things to his repertoire, but then they stop with their wrestling practice. So then the wrestling is not as sharp, and so then when they go up against a really good wrestler, they falter, and then they don't have what brought them to the dance in the first place.
Yeah. But I think that's just looking at your opponent, what's in front of you, and also like being honest with yourself. And like right now, I'm looking at getting back into fighting, and if I didn't feel the sharpness, I didn't feel the fire. And not just the fire, if I didn't physically feel the sharpness, if I didn't feel the reflexes, I'd have to be honest with myself and say, okay, don't do this.
Do you think that you would 100% be capable of being rational and objective about what you can do right now?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because I don't fight for participation awards. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm not like, hey, but there's some UFC fighters that are like, I'm a UFC fighter.
Right.
Yay, I've made it. And like, that's not really making it. You're just another, like, say, I'm a world champion. I'm the best in the world. I'm a UFC fighter is like a participation medal, basically. Like, level.
It shows that you're a very high level fighter. You're a very high level professional fighter. Right. But you, in your eyes, you as a champion, that is what's important. You want to be the queen. You want to be the top of the hill.
We want to be the best of your best self.
Yes.
Your
best self.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one thing that I really like about individual sports, whether it's jiu-jitsu or Muay Thai or boxing, is that you can focus on just one sport and all the various aspects of one sport. And there's so much subtlety and so much technique and so much to learn. I mean, you ever watch Floyd Mayweather Sr. train people? It's really interesting because he's showing guys who are world-class fighters like the subtle aspects of boxing and movement and things they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
Like Simon Marcus. He was working with Simon Marcus, and he was doing some training with Simon Marcus. I'm like, this is so fascinating.
That had to be hard.
For a guy like Simon?
Yeah, because he's very rigid.
Yes.
And he gets so much power from his rigidity.
Yeah.
And so, like, boxing is much more, it's not rigid.
Right.
It's like hip-hop.
Right.
Like, boom. It's got that, like, that beat to it and that, like, swag to it. And Simon Marcus is just so...
That Muay Thai hard style
rigid.
And a lot of grappling and clinching and moving forward. Yeah, he's a very physically strong guy, too.
Yeah, he looks like he's on shit.
Yeah.
But he's not. He does, doesn't he?
Good genes.
Yeah,
Good genes.
great genes. Yeah.
But
Remember Joe Schilling?
Yes.
And Simon Marcus.
Yes.
That beef.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That fourth round.
I do remember that.
What a fucking crazy
Yeah.
fight. I was there for that.
And there was all the controversy on the first one, right? Because there was the illegal. Was it illegal? He hooked the back of the heel or something, and then on the throw on the. Yeah,
This is the other fights,
their
different
first
fights.
fight.
Yeah,
The first one.
The first fight, Simon Marcus won.
But it was like he got knocked out.
Right.
Joe did when Simon fell on him, and he also put his foot behind his heel.
Right.
I guess, and there was a lot of controversy about that, whether that was illegal or not
Right.
in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And then when he fell on him, I guess he hit Joe in the jaw with his forehead or something, and so Joe got up like this.
Right.
Did you remember that?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the revenge to
Yeah.
have it in that last man standing tournament, which was a fucking crazy thing to begin with, where they were going to have to fight 3 times in a night.
I don't remember that.
You
Was
remember
that?
it? Yeah. So they fought in the first round. Joe fought Simon, and it went 3 rounds, and it was a draw. And so in the 4th round, they had to come out. Both guys were like, holy, Glory goes, 1 more round. And so they're like, fuck. And Simon Marcus had kept spitting out his mouthpiece. And Big
That's a
John
trick.
McCarthy took a point away. Sarah goes, he takes a point away from Simon because Simon was exhausted because
Yeah.
they were going to war
That's
for
a trick.
3 absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was spitting out his
at those
mouthpiece,
pecs.
trying to gain
Jesus,
some
look at that
time.
guy.
Nah, he's pretty fucking jacked.
He's so jacked.
And so now he's got 1 point down going into a fight that's a draw, so he's got to move forward. So he comes after Joe, and Joe knows he's got to come at him. So Joe starts countering, and he catches him with this fucking nasty right hook. I think it's coming soon.
It's like right here, 3 or 4 seconds.
Well, it was a wild fight, just a wild series of exchanges. And I think Simon, here it is. Simon's moving forward. Boom, there it is. And Simon had knocked Joe down early in the fight. I think he knocked Joe down in the first. So
Nice.
so Joe lost the first round and then probably won the second and third. So it was a tie going into the 4th.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a crazy fight. Awesome fight, though.
They actually fought in lion fight too. I've had a lot of concussions. Could be wrong, but I thought it was
I think
their
they
first
have
fight,
fought 3
the
times.
controversy.
Yes.
And then the second fight was in lion fight, and it was winner take all, the purse. And then I think it was Glory. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That was round 2 he got knocked down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved Lion Fight. I wish they had kept it on Access TV. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know where it is now. I think it's like on a web app or some shit.
I was afraid to fight lion fight because of the judging.
Really? There
Yeah.
were some screwy decisions.
Yeah, that was just like.
Yeah. But is that an athletic commission thing? That seems more like a athletic commission thing than a Lion Fight.
But does it matter? Because whatever
To
they
you,
keep
right.
doing it in the same spot, so it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the case with Vegas, though. I mean, Vegas has some terrible fucking judging
See?
sometimes. You
Yeah.
know? And it's not, I mean, I don't know how you fix that other than fire anyone who has any shitty decisions.
And it seems like you can't even. Can you petition?
You can, but nobody wins.
See, that's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
That's.
I can't imagine. When has anyone, in your recent memory, or in your memory period, when has anyone appealed a decision and won?
I've never.
I've never heard of it. That's crazy. You think about all the fights that we've seen and that we can't even recall someone who got fucked, who went back and reviewed the tape. Look, I'm hitting him 3-1, 2-1, and still lose a decision, which has happened.
Yeah.
That has happened. There have been some egregious, horrible decisions.
What I hate about this is, I think that the judges don't really think about that it's our lives. Like if I have this loss because of your error, the next time I fight, I make less money, and I'm already not making that much money. Like you're not even thinking about how what this does to me as a fighter, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I don't think that it's they're not thinking about that. I think it's they're not competent. I think there's certainly corruption, and there's certainly people that get bribed. I guarantee that does still probably happen. How do I guarantee probably? I can't, right? But I think more likely than that is you're seeing incompetence. I think you're seeing people that don't have any martial arts training.
That's fucked up though. Because
is.
like, I don't know, that's ego. Like they can't admit that they don't know. Oh my God, I
Well,
had
it's
that.
It's
I
like
had
a government
that.
job.
I fucking had that at I was a WBC title defense. And I'm doing completely legal throws, Muay Thai throws, and he's telling me no more slamming her on the canvas. He's
What?
like, he says, this ain't no jujitsu.
No.
Literally.
The referee said
Cecil
this?
Peoples, yeah.
Cecil. You said his name. That's Voldemort. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Tanya Evinger wins commission appeal, retains
there we go.
Invicta FC champion. Wait a minute. What is a commission appeal though? What does that mean though? That might
She
be.
lost a submission, and the other person was a champion for 13 days.
She lost by submission. Huh.
What?
Yeah. This was in at the end of 2016?
How is it
15?
overturned to a no contest?
I had that.
So what happened?
I Googled your question, and someone found some examples of it happening, and this was one of the 3 I found.
Huh. That's a little different because that seems like there was an error in the officiating. And so if she lost by submission and then they said it wasn't legit.
I had a decision overturned.
Did you? Mm-hmm. Really?
It was, what's his name? John Big Guy. The big ref.
Okay.
What's his name? John.
Big John McCarthy?
Big John McCarthy.
John Bigga.
It's the big
That's your
guy,
new
the
name,
big John. But I need a downed opponent in the head.
Oh.
But from where I was, I didn't realize that. Mm-hmm. So I need her once, and she was like this, and I was like, "Oh man, let me make sure this is over with." And I need her
Right.
again, but she was like 5'11", 6 feet-ish, Jessamine Duke, super super long.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that she was her knees were on the canvas.
I didn't know Jessamine
Yeah.
Duke fought Muay Thai.
No, this was an MMA.
Oh.
So I knocked her out, and then I put one for good measure.
Oh.
Unfortunately. And so
Unfortunately.
he gave me the win, and then she appealed. She appealed it, and then it got overturned to a no contest. At least not a DQ. Because I didn't mean to do. I didn't realize.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was
Because she would have
bummer.
gone out anyway.
Yeah, so I've kind of fucked myself. I gave her a leg to stand on. Yeah. Yeah, that was like.
What
a hard
organization
one
was
to
that
get
in?
over. Invicta.
How many fights do you have in Invicta?
Oh, 3.
3?
I think.
How many? Is that all the most MMA fights you've had? Oh, you've had more than 3, right?
4.
4?
I think 4.
Now, when you talk about coming back now, and I know you're recovering from knee injuries and all this jazz. What do you
and
think?
chunkiness.
Chunkiness. You look great now.
Yeah, it's so much better. Oh my god.
Is it because of Nakamoto?
No.
Nakamoto healthy snacks.
Yeah, man, when you're 40 pounds overweight, you smell different.
Do you? What do you
Yeah.
smell like?
Just not yourself. It's not yourself. It's just not.
40 pounds is a lot.
It's a lot.
What were you eating?
Or not eating, or drinking all the time.
Oh, you're
and not
drinking?
working out,
Oh.
and like limping because my knee was so fucked up. Yeah, it was a lot of grief.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
For someone like you, it's got to be hard too because you're so connected to like your physical activity.
oh yeah.
So to have that removed and taken away from you.
Well, that was remember when we were talking about like finding out who you really are, who you think you are.
Yeah.
And like getting that injury and gaining all that weight, I was like, oh, okay, who I think I am, I no longer have access to that.
Right.
So now who am I? And it was like spent the last 5 years trying to work that shit out. So yeah.
That happens to a lot of fighters when they retire.
Yeah. Well, good thing it happened already.
Yeah. What were you thinking while that time was up? Because you got to feel like also you're 42 now.
Yeah.
So this is all
Yeah.
happening at 37, which is, for some fighters, it's towards the end anyway.
Yeah. No, I was doing well at 37.
Yeah.
I was doing fine.
No, you were doing great.
Yeah.
But there's a reality of the clock.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
When you look at least historically, everyone outside of Bernard Hopkins,
Yeah, he's amazing.
fucking amazing.
Holy shit.
46 years old, fighting
Yeah.
world class. I mean, I think did he beat Kelly Pavlik when he was like 46? I think he boxed Kelly Pavlik up when he was 46
Nice.
and lost to Joe Smith. I think he was 51 by the time
Wow.
we got knocked out and sent out of the cage or out of the ring.
Love that guy.
Yeah, I know he's amazing.
Yeah.
43.
Yeah.
43 when he fought Pavlik.
But he's not when he fought. He's like more conservative now.
Yes.
When he fights.
Well, he's done.
You know?
But yeah,
Right.
well, he's
The
just
recent stuff.
a masterful boxer. Just
Yeah.
absolutely understands everything about boxing and is not going to put himself in a position where he's going to get fucked up.
Yeah.
Until he couldn't help it anymore. Like the Joe Smith fight, it was like, this has got to be the end.
That's it.
And Kovalev too. It felt like Kovalev was lighting him up. I was like, oh, I don't want to watch this. You know.
It hurts when you see somebody so incredible when they're, when it's done.
Yes.
Because they just, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you're so much better than this.
It's especially like when they're an artist. Like there's something about when you see Chuck go out on his shield, something about it to me. I don't like seeing it for sure. I definitely would have liked it if he didn't get knocked out again. But one thing that I would like young fighters to see is that there's consequences to choices in terms of like how you approach these exchanges and how you fight. And I'm of a belief that you should fight the correct way. Don't fight the way that pleases your boss or the crowd. Fight the way you're supposed to with your skills. And win by knockout when you can, but don't get knocked out because you're trying to win by knockout and doing something that you're overextending yourself and exposing yourself and you're compromising yourself. Like that's not wise. And I think part of fighting has to be wise. Yeah. It's exciting enough. I mean, it's fucking crazy and wild enough, but everybody wants every single second of it to be filled with blood and the crowd cheering, and when they're not. I mean, how many times have we seen fights where just there's a lull in the action for a brief moment or they're clinching and people start booing, and then someone, come on, mix it up, boys, mix it up. Like, what do you mean mix it up? The fuck you do? What do you think they're doing, man? They're fighting. This is crazy talk. You know, like you see it all the time.
Social media brain.
There's a little bit of that.
Impatient.
Well, everybody wants to be a huge star too, you know? Everybody wants to do their best to gain the most followers and get the most love and get the most applause. You know, but there's a right way to fight and a wrong way to fight. And one of the things about watching a guy like Chuck go out on his shield like that, it's like, this is the bed he made. I mean, this is his style. His style is marauder, berserker, move forward, like Melvin Manhoef. When you see Melvin go out on his shield, you go, look, this is Melvin's style. Like he's either going to kill you or get killed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you see a guy like Sugar Ray Leonard and he gets KO'd, you're like, oh, Jesus, like stop. Yeah. You can't do it anymore. Yeah. You're not really, you can't move the way that made you successful. Pernell Whitaker, someone like that. If you see them for whatever reason, they can't move right. Do you remember Pernell Whitaker?
I know the name, but I haven't watched his fights.
Damn, woman.
That's why I'm just laughing. I'm like, man.
He was a defensive genius. Olympic gold medalist, 76.
I'm terrible. So people will ask
84.
me, they will ask me about the Y Crew, Raw Muay, and I'm just like, I don't know. It's both. Or they'll ask me, how do you win a Muay Thai fight? And I go, I don't know. Do more damage. Like, I don't fucking know. What scores higher? Elbow or knee or punch? I don't know. Just fucking win.
Right.
Like, I have no idea.
Were you ever thinking what scores higher?
No, I'm just thinking, I'm going to dominate this motherfucker. Yeah. This is my space.
Yeah.
Like, this is my, square circle or whatever.
Is that how you think about it? This is mine?
Well, yeah, because like, you dominate the space and, like, it's about territory. And fighting's territory, and you start and it's even, and they have their side and you have your side, and you take the territory away. And you want them to feel like it's not their space anymore. Like, that's how you impose your will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that simple. I don't know. I don't know about fucking points and this and that and it's shit. I have no idea.
Do you ever teach?
Yeah.
Do you teach private lessons? Do you teach classes? Like, what do you teach?
A little bit, yeah.
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 Do you ever work with fighters?
I have, yeah.
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 When you do it, do you find that looking at it in a way where you're trying to explain it to someone who's also trying to do what you do, that it helps you understand what you do?
Yeah. Yeah. But I definitely don't.
You don't like it?
No, I still, like, this conversation's the same. Like, it's more about, like, the tone you're setting rather than the weapons you're using. To me, because it's really just like, there's that space and it's your job to own it. Like, you own the center of the ring. You dictate where they go. You take things away. You know, it's an ex-convict trying to get a job. The doors just shut in their face. Everywhere they turn, shut in their face.
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Like, that's how you want to make them feel.
Like you're a parole
I
officer.
I don't want an ex-convict to not be able to get a job.
Right.
But
I know what you're saying.
in the ring,
Yeah.
you want to take shit away from somebody and make them feel very discouraged.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you don't belong here anymore. And you know that. You know, like, that's
Yeah.
what you want them to feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't want to fight me again. That's another thing you want to make them feel. You know, like, there's these things. So you got to understand what you're doing there. But insofar as, like, what scores higher and what this and that, I don't fucking know. I have no fucking idea. It just goes off of, like, how my opponent is reacting to what I'm doing to them.
Right.
Or how they're reacting to me. And that's what I'm going to throw. Or where they move. And that's what I'm going to throw. I don't think about, like, oh, is this going to score? Should I throw this or this? Which will score higher?
Right. You can't.
I don't know. It's fucking retarded.
Yeah. It's
I think.
not. Yeah. It's not a wise way to think. I don't think. I think, especially in something like Muay Thai, which so many fights win by knockout. So many fights are won by knockout.
Yeah.
And it's such a devastating art. You know, we think about just having the ability to kick and knee and punch and elbow and all these different weapons you're using.
I think Muay Thai doesn't hurt that much.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I think
mean, like,
Muay Thai doesn't hurt that much.
So,
You were talking about earlier about breaking your elbow on someone's head.
yeah, but that didn't hurt at the time. At the
Well,
time, it
with
didn't hurt.
Adrenaline.
I don't know. I mean, it just was like, it just bam, and I'm like, whoa, she's bleeding. That's crazy. And the ref's like pulling me off her. And I don't think about how it felt. I don't think about, you know, like when I got my ribs cracked from a kick in a Muay Thai fight, I thought it was liver. So I was like, I feel my pain. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, fuck you. I'm in the fight. And you pull yourself back out of that pain because you don't want to fall into the pain.
Right.
Because it's hard to climb back up. It's like swimming upstream. Right. So you can't fall into that fucking pain.
Right.
And but it's not. I mean, it's banged up, but it's not that bad.
Well, you have a tolerance for it.
Yeah. I just like. I mean, your shins will be bruised up. You know. I don't.
You put a picture up on Instagram once of your legs. Like,
no, that hurt.
Yeah.
No, that really hurt.
What day was that?
That took weeks.
After the fight that your legs were that fucked up?
No. That was right before I fought.
It was right before you fought?
Yeah, so I had 3 fights, and that one was right before the last one.
Oh, you had 3 fights in a day.
No, I had 3 fights over 5 days.
Oh.
Which made it worse, actually, because if the 3 fights had been in one day, then
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so
What
they
the
had a
fuck
day
are you-
between each, and so the pain would set in,
Was
and
this
the
a Muay
bruising
Thai
would set in.
tournament?
Yeah, it was IFMA.
Was it in Thailand? Uh-huh. Oh, they're crazy over there.
It was cool. I liked it,
That's wild, though.
but that shit hurt.
I'm sure.
That shit hurt for weeks. Like I couldn't roll over in bed. Like they couldn't. You know how you stack your legs and you snuggle. You're up in your
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
Couldn't. I had to, and like put a pillow in between them. Yeah.
Oof.
The bruising was behind on the calves. Like it was. I got kicked in the front. Yeah.
Right.
But there's so much blood. You know, internal bleeding from the bruising. It went to the back to my calf. So it actually encapsulated my whole leg in bruising, and then it went down my ankles, both sides, and then down to my toes.
So when
Yeah.
you took the pictures, that was you in between the second and third fight?
That was right before the 3rd fight. I was waiting. It was the King's Cup. So it was the King's
There you
birthday.
go.
Yeah. So that's actually.
Fuck.
Yeah, and you can see my ankle, and it actually went underneath my toes.
Oh, and this is before you have to fight again.
Both legs were like that.
Yeah.
Both were like this.
And you have to fight again.
Yeah.
That is.
So do you know Wooden Man, Jongsanan?
Uh-huh.
That's him rubbing me. And so he tried to give me the Muay Thai. They give you the pre-fight massage with the tile in it. He couldn't fucking touch me. It was so bad.
How the fuck did you fight like this?
I don't know, but I did.
That is so insane.
Yeah.
Your legs are so banged up. The fact that you fought.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like mentally I was just like, wow, this is happening. I'm going to do this. And I'd look at my legs. Okay, this is happening. This is okay. Yeah.
No,
I'm
once
fine
you
with
started
that.
fighting, what did you feel?
I don't think about that. Like sometimes you get kicked and it goes through. Like it gets through your force shield. You know, like you kind of put up this like, I don't know. When I fight, it's like I'm fighting and the
Right.
thing. Yeah, it's a force shield in a sense. You know, and sometimes if it hurts enough, like when I got my ribs cracked, I felt that.
Right.
Like it went through, and I like disrupted my force shield. And so sometimes that something would go through like a good
Your
solid
force
kick.
shield.
So my force shield.
So you have
force shield activate.
your attitude, your mindset.
Yeah.
This is like you're fighting. You're ready to accept all sorts of things.
Yeah, like I could die. Or even harder, I could kill someone.
Do you think it'd be harder to kill someone than to die?
So
Harder on you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you think about their loved ones. So think about all the people that loved you. We fight. Think about all the people that loved you, right?
Yeah.
And so when we fight, I didn't break any rules, but I killed you.
Right.
Think about all your loved ones. Everybody that loves you that's attached to you. Think about that. All that pain.
It's a lot of
Because of what
pain.
I did to you,
Right.
even though I didn't break any rules.
Have you ever been in a promotion where someone died?
But that's heavy, right?
Yeah.
And I think probably why a lot of fighters, I've noticed like there's, I don't think the majority of fighters look at what they do with the gravity that it deserves. You know, like you could kill somebody. Like you need to think about that and be okay with that. Not okay, but just understand like, all right, that could happen, and I'm going to be I'm consciously knowing this and choosing to go forward. They just think, oh, I'm going to fight, it'll be fun, it'll, you know, whatever, or it'll be hard, or I'm going to like, whatever. They don't think about these things.
Is this something that you thought about when you were young?
Yeah, before I really got into it.
So this is a something you've been contemplating even before you started fighting. You were aware of all the possibilities.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll say it. So I was, it was about 28, I think, and I don't think I had my pro boxing debut yet, and I took some mushrooms, and I was thinking, somewhere along the trip, I started thinking about fighting, and I started thinking about like what could happen to me, and I started thinking about the death of me, and then I started thinking about what could happen to my opponent, like what's worse than that. And I thought about, I could see like somebody I fight, and I saw all the like lines of gold thread attached into them, like from their loved ones, and then all the lines got snipped when they died. Yeah, I saw this on this mushroom trip, and I was just like, fuck. And so then when I decided to fight, there's more intent, you know, and more commitment and more resolve.
That's heavy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's where I think there's more power.
To people that have never fought before, and people that don't understand fighting, they say, I don't get the appeal, I don't know why you watch it. The reason that one of the reasons, there's many reasons, but one of the reasons why people enjoy participating in it so much is because there's so much risk, and it's so dangerous, and it's so difficult, so unbelievably difficult to prepare, unbelievably difficult to put yourself in the proper mind state, especially to be a champion, to beat the best of the best, and to get to the top of the heap, that once you do succeed, like explain that feeling to people. Explain that feeling when they raise your hand and put that belt around your waist and the crowd is cheering.
I'm kind of weird because I actually get depressed.
You get depressed? You get depressed when you win?
At times, yeah. Or I'm just, I think for me, what I've come to realize about myself is that it's about authentically expressing myself in the moment. And I think with a lot of my fights, I wasn't being honest. I didn't take my heart and cut it open and pour it out on the mat or the canvas. I played it safe. I didn't go in for the knockout. I didn't slip a punch and counter and get inside. I stayed outside, or when I was inside, I would clinch up an elbow and knee, you know? So for me, it hurts when I'm being inauthentic. And I know that with pretty much all of my Muay Thai fights, I wasn't.
But is that the case, or is it you being hypercritical of yourself?
Always.
Always.
Always. So I've actually, you just had Kyrian on, and he can attest to this. I've come out of fights and won the world title, done a great job, and I go into the gym the next week and I go, Kyrian, this was stupid. I look stupid. I didn't do this right. This fucked up. I can't fight like that again. Like, we got to fix that. And it was just like that.
But that's what makes a champion, though.
Yeah. But mine was unhealthy. So mine was more, I think I'm more of a champion now than I ever was when I was actively fighting. And when I was, I was trying to be good enough instead of just focusing on, how can I say this? My pursuit of world titles wasn't about, it was in a defense of something that was told to me when I was growing up. So it's like, I'm world champion, so you can't tell. That's not true, because I'm a world champion.
Right.
So that's what that was about for me.
So it was about making up for a lack of love, a lack of appreciation,
or just
for abuse.
Yeah, like I'm not good enough, so I'm going to win this world title and prove that I am good enough. So F you. And that's not a pure place to express yourself from.
Right.
You know, like now, I'm more of a martial artist than I've ever been, and I'm more of a teacher and a student than I've ever been, and I'm more of a champion than I've ever been.
How are you more of a champion than you've ever been?
It's the way my outlook and the way I learn, the way I attack new information, the way how malleable I am, and how quickly I take things on, you know, how driven. You know, it's a lot easier to be champion when you have the six pack and the muscles and the youth and the everything to back that up. But when you have those things taken away from you, then what is a champion? What is it without those things? It's your heart, it's your desire, it's your resolve, it's your mind.
But using this expression champion, like why champion? Because if you're a champion, you're competing against someone to become a champion. That's what makes you a champion. Myself. Right. So
to do it better, to learn
better
it faster,
mastery over the things that you feel held you back and limited your potential when you actually were a world champion kickboxer.
Mm-hmm. And so now it's more about self-expression.
You're a more balanced person.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And now it's a pursuit of self-expression, and it's a pursuit of authenticity, and like finding that moment to ride the razor's edge, instead of playing it safe and staying outside, but not having a satisfying fight.
Yeah.
You know?
Even though you won, not having satisfying fights because you could feel the flaws.
Yeah. I could just feel how I was holding back.
Right.
And it's like, you can feel when you're in the zone and you go for it 100% commitment and you're just in it. You know, you're in it. It's so authentic.
What fights have you had where you really felt satisfied?
I would say the fight after I fought Julie. Yeah, I went up in kitchen. Yeah, I went up in weight to fight her. I went up to 140. It was a champion of champions. She had 58 fights, I think 14 world titles. I had 14 fights at the time and 6 world titles, I think. And
that's pretty crazy. 14 fights, 6 world titles.
Yeah. Yeah, I started
Kieran
late.
said that you were the most talented person he's ever worked with.
I would agree. I would because
that's high praise.
What I noticed,
Kieran Fitzgibbons, I mean, that's really that's amazing stuff.
Well, I'm malleable, and I'm really dry. Like I'm like, no, that's not right. Do it again. That doesn't feel right. Do it again. What are you doing? What am I doing? What does it look like? What should it feel like? Where's my pressure? Where's the leverage? What's this? Da 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 da. You know, like I'm like that. You know, no, it's not right. Let's do it again. Oh, that was perfect, but let's move on to the next thing.
And this sort of level of dissatisfaction with your performances, though, don't you think that that's ultimately what makes you such a champion in the first place? Like Alexander Gustafsson put it best once when he was talking about one of his training camps. He's like, this is the life of a professional athlete. You're just never satisfied. He says, if you want to achieve greatness, you're never satisfied.
Yeah, no, I agree, but not with the way I was doing it.
So you were doing it, but you were doing it in a manic, almost unhealthy way?
Yeah. Like I could never just give myself that.
Right.
I could never be like, all right, that was great. This needs adjustments.
Right.
All right, so here's the game plan. You know, like, oh, here, you know, you did this. This is an accomplishment. Or, you conquered this, you took on this new skill. All right, let's give yourself that credit.
Right.
There's always, never good enough. Never good enough. Never good enough.
But is that never good enough fuel? Like, is that thought like never good enough? Never good enough?
No, it's
Is that-
definitely fuel.
It is, right?
But it's not.
Not
there's,
healthy.
There's much
It's
more
crack.
environmentally friendly fuel. Like this is like pollutants. This is pollutants.
And as far as your life goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Now, so I am working with. I am back at CSA working with Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him, for Muay Thai, I actually told Dave and Kieran this. Or did I tell Kieran? Well, I guess I'm telling him now. If I were to have a Muay Thai fight, obviously I'm not gonna, I wouldn't be with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where the success has been. That's where the formula works. I'm not gonna change that. But now I'm also over at Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu with Dave Camarillo.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Excellent coach.
Oh my God.
Genius.
Oh my, fucking Jedi Knight, dude.
Yeah.
He's a Jedi Knight.
Great guy, too.
Holy shit. Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. But now I get to learn from him. And so that...
Is he making you wear a gi?
he's not making me, but I do, and I would, and have no problem with it. He definitely says, like, I need to go to classes, which I absolutely agree with. As a high-level striker, or any kind of striker going into MMA, you need to go to the fucking classes and learn to swim in the deep end.
Yeah.
You have to. And just be like, all right, this sucks. I'm just getting, like, fucking armpit suffocated. It's fine. Just deal with it. But with Dave, I can feel myself changing into the fighter that I want to be.
How often do you do jiu-jitsu?
Well, right now I've been traveling, so not as much. But I was doing it like every day. Yeah.
And with your knee, I know you have like a limited amount of mobility with one of your knees.
Yeah.
Does that get in the way of anything?
It does. I definitely have to
Did you put a brace on it or anything?
No, I just communicate clearly with my training partners.
Mm-hmm.
So funny thing is I love heel hooks. And I've had 4 knee surgeries. Isn't that weird? It's a little weird.
They're effective as fuck.
That's the only submission I go for.
Really?
Heel hook, knee bar.
Well, listen, it's a very good submission. I mean, it's revolutionized jiu-jitsu, really. Over the last few years, the leg lock game is really taken over.
Yeah. You're thinking, like, if somebody had that many surgeries, you'd be like, no, I'm not fucking with that.
Well, how about John
But
Danaher?
I'm like getting in
I
there.
mean, John Danaher has a fake hip. He's got a fake knee.
Oh, wow, really?
His whole body's getting replaced. And
It's a bionic man.
he's one of the main minds at the head of the leg lock revolution. Eddie Cummings being one of them, and then a lot of the students.
That's awesome.
Gary Tonin, of course. And there's so many really good jiu-jitsu guys now that are leg lock specialists. It's fascinating. Craig Jones. There's like a whole new crew of up and coming guys that are leg lock specialists.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I love it.
It's really interesting because all the years that I did jiu-jitsu, it took like this transition. Like, which only took place within the last decade, like less than a decade, where it really started ramping up. Back in the day, if you were in a jiu-jitsu tournament and you did a leg lock or a heel hook, the crowd would boo. They would fucking scream. They would scream even if you won by tap. Like if you went to the Worlds and you heel hook somebody, people would freak the fuck out.
That's so dumb.
It's crazy. That's what it used to be. It used to be that they thought of it as cheap. They thought leg locks and heel hooks and ankle locks, they thought those were cheap moves.
But it's literally part of the body.
Well, what it is people that didn't understand the defense, so they would move the wrong way and get their legs blown apart. And nobody wants to get their legs blown apart in training, so they would discourage it in training and discourage it in competition because it was ripping people's legs apart.
Yeah, that's retarded.
Well, it's just a lack of understanding. Look, your shoulder is a very complex joint. We have zero problem manipulating the shit out of people's shoulders.
It's a weak joint, too.
It's a weak joint. Tears
complex
apart.
and weak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have no problem with that. Nobody says we got to outlaw
crying
Kimuras.
About that. Yeah.
Either somehow or another, if you fuck your shoulder up where you can't wipe your ass, that's okay. But if you fuck your knee up where you can't walk good.
Can you imagine if you can wipe your own ass? Well, not a problem for you.
Why? Oh, for this with my super toilet?
Yeah.
Those toilets are awesome.
I was going to take a picture of that and post that on Instagram.
Go ahead. Feel free. I tell people about them. They're amazing.
That's awesome.
They keep you clean. And plus, it's comfy. It's like a warm seat.
As soon as I sat down, I was like oh.
Nice, right?
Oh,
yeah.
it's a good life.
It's good. This is the good life. Yeah. It's weird. Like, what? I mean, why is it okay to yank on someone's neck? I mean, I know so many dudes with fucked up necks. I mean, it's like all of jiu-jitsu is bad for your body.
I have fucking tingling going down my arm
Right now?
when I sit in certain positions
Oh.
from like just wrestling and jiu-jitsu.
Did you get a MRI?
Never happened. No.
Well, I guarantee I know what that is.
It's a pinched nerve.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
means
yeah.
you got a bulging disc.
No.
That's what it means.
Not all the time, though.
Almost always.
No, the tingling.
Yeah, the tingling is
Is
probably
all the
because
time?
a nerve is being pushed on by a disc. Yeah. Most of the time, that's what that is.
Till the wheels fall off.
Yeah. Well,
You
the
can
wheels-
understand. It's not
wheels-
a look on your face.
but the wheels are not off. Like,
No.
you can strengthen things and you can do a lot of... Have you ever fucked around with spinal decompression? Mm-mm. There's a lot of really cool devices that you could do at home.
Just hang.
Yeah, you put this harness on that straps to the door, and it like supports your head, like pulls on your neck. And
Really?
it stretches and relaxes your neck. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay.
Really good. Yeah,
I wanna
that'll
write-
help a lot.
I'm going
And
to sign that.
yeah, sign that, and then after
Spinal decompression.
we have pieces of paper. You could write on
I
paper.
won't remember.
Okay, I'll text it to you.
Got like
I'll text you all
yoga
this
pants.
stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I won't remember.
I'll text you all this
Okay.
stuff because I'm a fanatic about helping people with neck injuries because I had a pretty significant bulging disc that was making my hands numb.
Yeah.
I was really worried. And my elbow was always in pain, and I thought maybe I damaged my elbow. And it turned out what was going on is the nerve, my disc was pushing against the nerve in my neck, and the ulnar nerve, which goes all the way down to your pinky tips, my fingers.
It's like over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
hurting.
mine's weird since I broke my elbow on her head.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's all that inflammation and scar tissue and
Like,
shit
yeah,
in there.
yeah, yeah.
But there's a bunch of different devices too. There's a thing called
Okay.
the iron neck that I love to talk to people about too. It's like a halo you put on. It'll help strengthen all this stuff.
I
up,
need
too.
that.
Yeah, I'll show it to you after
Okay.
after we do the podcast.
Is it like Muay Thai? You can pull on my. I'm fine.
Right.
I'm totally fine. But wrestling, like this and then
Yes.
that, it's different. Yeah, and it
weird
just
head cranks,
yeah,
neck cranks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even jiu-jitsu is not as bad as wrestling for me.
John Machado always says, never trust your neck. Just don't trust your neck. Never think your neck's going to hold up. Because
Okay.
some guys, like, they'll shoot in for a takedown. Someone will get him in the guillotine, and they'll just try to gut their way out of it. The full takedown. He's like, never trust your neck.
Yeah.
Never trust your neck.
That sucks.
Yeah, neck is a weird thing. There's little bones that are held in place by tendons and this gelatinous mush in between them. And in between is the fucking cord that communicates from your brain all the way down to all your limbs.
That's hella sketchy,
and we're,
man.
And we're cranking on that thing. Like, this is the housing for the cord that keeps your body moving from your brain. And people are getting you in fucking chokes, crushing your neck. It's crazy.
See, now when I do jiu-jitsu, I'm a whole different mindset. I'm like, don't fucking touch my neck.
Yeah, don't touch my neck.
You fucking,
Don't.
I'll sneak an elbow in there. Don't touch my fucking neck.
Do you put your hair up in buns and shit? And, like, how do
Do
you...
the jiu-jitsu hair?
Yeah.
I'd try, but it's a,
Yeah.
I wanna shave my head.
Do you?
I'd want to.
You could pull it
but
off.
it's itchy.
Mine's on itches.
Mine is all itchy when
You
I
can
do
pull
it.
it off. You
Yeah,
can shave your
I've
head.
done it before.
You get a crew cut. You'd look a badass bitch with a crew cut. You should do it. Why not? Why not? For a comeback fight? Look, it fucking, it's not a bad move.
I'm already 42. You know, I gotta at least keep some kind of thing going.
Something feminine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm getting the lines. I gotta at least try to.
Rose
Yeah.
Namajunas,
Play
she
the
pulled it
game.
off. I
Yep.
think Rose looks just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, with a shaved
She
head.
is, you know, if she was an actress, she looks like an A-list actress, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah, she's
and she
gorgeous.
has that presence.
But she doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
she's
that's
so
what it
not
is,
into
isn't
that.
it?
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
part of what it is.
She's so interesting.
She's so present. Yeah.
Beautiful.
She's beautiful, but
Beautiful person. Like her
Yes.
heart and her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's amazing.
Yeah.
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 And they don't. I don't think they appreciate that as much. They don't appreciate it enough. You know, like how gorgeous she is. Like,
Yeah.
she doesn't get enough press or attention. Or
If she had her hair and she played the game.
yeah,
Because she literally looks like a mini supermodel.
Right.
With little muscles. Like, can,
Right.
like, yeah.
Well, I remember when she fought Michelle Waterson, the karate hottie.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was making this big deal out of how hot Michelle Waterson is, who's very beautiful. But So's Rose. Rose is equally gorgeous, if not more.
But the look, it's a different type of look. Like Michelle Watterson would be like hosting a cable entertainment show, E! News or something, right? And Rose Namajunas would be like the lead in a movie.
Right.
That's the difference in beauty. She just has this like interesting look to her. She has this kind of like a challenging beauty, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's even her expression.
Yeah.
Where Michelle Watterson there's something much more comfortable about her beauty. Like she's really exotic. She's like Thai and white or something, right? Yeah, she's gorgeous, but she doesn't have that challenging thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do know what you mean.
Yeah.
You can shave your head, dude. You can pull it off. I'm telling you.
I would look nowhere near as good as Rose. So.
Well, that's very nice of you. So what kind of physical conditioning do you do if you don't do any iron neck stuff, no spinal decompression? What do you do?
I was doing a bit of CrossFit and a bit of just fight training. So yeah, I've been out so long that when I started getting back in, like I told you before we started, I went fucking crazy. And that was a bad idea at 41 at the time. It was last year. And I had a total body breakdown where it hurt to hold my cell phone. I had like burning pain in my forearms, just holding my cell phone.
How long did it take you to get to that spot?
About 4 months of
hard.
Yeah,
So
like
just
doing
not
jiu-jitsu.
enough.
So I was over at Half Gracie in San Francisco, and I was doing like...
That's a hard spot.
Yeah. Sometimes I do.
Don't fuck around.
I know. Kurt Osiander.
Yeah, whenever I talk to somebody that trained at Half's, I'll go, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Motherfucker, you swam with the sharks.
Yeah, I did. But it was... How come you don't have Kurt on?
I would definitely have him on. I love that guy.
He
Such
collects...
a character.
He's just like that in person.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's just like that.
Well, we're both friends with Bourdain. I just never got to meet him.
Okay.
Bourdain was alive.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
He collects medieval weapons.
Of course he does.
And he'll shoot them.
I like how he fucking takes videos where you just see his feet. He takes videos just of his feet and all his toes are all
gnarled,
fucked up and taped up.
Have you seen his fingers?
Yeah, they're a mess.
Yeah.
Well, those gi guys, man, they just damage the shit out of their fingers.
I keep telling Kurt his big toe looks like one of those dildos in the Castro. Like it looks like, it looks like a butt plug.
San Francisco reference.
Yes.
Dildos in the Castro.
Yeah.
Oh, those places.
Those places. It looks like a butt plug.
Yeah.
It's like that big.
It's a fucked up toe. All those old gi guys, their hands just turn into gnarled messes.
He looks like
they're always trapped.
He looks like a mountain troll.
Yeah, a little bit.
He looks like a hobgoblin. I love that guy.
He's an animal.
What else does he do? Yeah, and he's a great cook.
Is he?
Too.
Really?
And then also, what does he do?
Isn't he in a band?
He does a lot of acid. He was in a band. Yeah. And he like buys instruments. He's like, I'm going to learn how to play this. And then he's like building additions onto his house. And
didn't he start his own school recently?
Yes. That whole transition, that was like Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Super.
I don't know anything.
Which I'm not, I don't know that much about it. I just remember like everybody had little groups and was like, who are you with? And it's just like,
I hate that.
Yeah, I'm not really used to that in Muay Thai. It's not as, I mean, there's some of it, but not like that.
That's happened in jiu-jitsu many times. There's been many foldings and unfoldings.
Are you with me, my brothers? Right. And I'm just like, no, I'm with myself.
Yeah.
I'm just a blue belt. I'm just a 12-year-old blue belt over here. You know, like I don't really care.
Well, I guess I understand it because a really popular school can be incredibly lucrative, you know, and there's so many schools. That's one of the weird things about California that people people who live in places without a lot of jiu-jitsu, they would go crazy here. They wouldn't know where to go. Within this, where we are right now, we could drive in 3 minutes and go to 5 jiu-jitsu places.
I need you to recommend somewhere for me to train
fuck yeah,
while I'm
100%.
down here.
Yeah,
okay, good.
I'll get you a bunch of places. But I mean, we're in the valley.
Yeah.
But I could tell you, there's a place in Encino, there's a place over here in Woodland Hills, there's a place in Canoga Park, there's a place over there, there's a place over here. You can go further out.
Weird. I didn't even
They're everywhere.
Think about that. Like being in an area where there's no jiu-jitsu.
Oh, there's places. Yeah. I mean,
like where?
One of the things when Bourdain was really getting into jiu-jitsu, he was training every day, even on the road.
Okay.
So he would travel.
It's easy.
Well, sometimes it's easy. It's hard when you're a celebrity. 'Cause
well, yeah, no, yeah.
he would send me text messages about it shitting out bone fragments because dudes just be smashing him because, you know, they wanted to sort of make an example out of some celebrity guy who wants to learn jiu-jitsu. So they're crushing him. But, you know, he would go to, like, when he was in Bozeman, when he was in Montana, there was no jiu-jitsu there. So he had to go to, like, a club. I think it was in Billings or something like that. So he had to travel to where they did this club, and it was just a bunch of, like, enthusiasts that would get together. It wasn't even, like, real teaching.
That's great.
You know? And he would train with them.
Play like they have a TV with the video up.
That shit works.
And then work the move.
If you have a good video and a good athlete, you can learn something from that.
Can-do attitude and a little bit of elbow grease.
A little bit of that too. I mean, I think there's never been a better time to do that than now with all the YouTube videos. And, I mean, it's really an incredible time. Even if you're not in a place with really good jiu-jitsu, you can learn. But you
can definitely find somebody who's good.
Don't you think you really need someone to go, no, here, now go like this. And you're like, oh, there's the little subtle adjustments that someone knows from years and years and years of training.
It's all about the sensitivity of leverage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just that sweet spot. I mean, like in Muay Thai, the Thai clinch, it's just that, like, that little difference of, like, when you're putting the elbows into, like, right in here and right, like, pulling into that little hook area.
Right,
you know?
behind your
head.
Right
there.
Yeah.
I was working, helping some of the MMA guys at Gorilla with their Thai clinch, and one of the wrestlers he's grabbing up there and
grabbing the back of your head.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like they're gonna make out at a high school dance. I try not to laugh, but it's hard. I'm sure they want to laugh at me.
You
when I
just
wrestle.
say it that way. Say it to
I
them.
did. I did.
Like, and then they'd realize it.
I was like, don't kiss him, man. Don't kiss him. Maybe later. This is not right now.
That is such an underutilized technique. You know, a good plum, someone with a good Muay Thai clinch. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't felt it before, when someone can really like, I remember when Anderson Silva fought Rich Franklin, and Rich Franklin just did not know what to do with it because Anderson grabbed a hold of it and just started smashing it with knees. And you realize, like, the fucking clinch, the way he would do it is so locked down. He had such technique.
Right.
You know.
But what's funny to me as a Muay Thai world champion or ex-Muay Thai world champion is that I watch these things and I go, dude, that's so fucking easy to neutralize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's literally like you just gonna, go like this.
They didn't know what to do.
Or you just, like, you don't have to be in that situation.
He didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, to this day, there's still fights that I'll watch in the UFC where I'll see their grappling and I'll just go, Jesus fucking Christ, get your foot. What are you doing? Get out. What? This is white belt stuff. This is blue belt stuff.
It surprises me when I watch that because I think, like, what do I know? I'm like a high level striker, but I'm like, you don't fucking know this, and you're in the UFC. You don't fucking know this. How do you not fucking know this?
It's you're dealing with people that come from all over the world, right? Like when Francis Ngannou fought Stipe Miocic for the title, right? Literally this is really recent heavyweight.
I don't ever want to watch that again.
Yeah, it was rough to watch.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Terrible.
I don't really like watching heavyweights fight that much.
Why is that?
It's a little too slow. It's usually not as technical.
That's true, but when they land...
Yeah. Ooh. I know, but I mean, you can get people that are smaller and more technical and faster, and they can land heavy punches too.
That's true, but...
Maybe because you're there live, so you can feel the ground shake. Or me, I'm just watching on the TV, so I don't feel it.
Did you see when Francis knocked out Alistair Overeem?
I think I did.
I think you need to see it again. I think you need to see that again. Because this is something that is some life-changing shit.
Changed my mind.
Watch this. Right. Boom.
Yeah.
Watch this.
I know.
Look at this. But with this left hook. Whomp. But it's crazy that he's so scary and his striking is so dangerous that even Alistair, a guy who's been around forever, he fought so wild and open. His hands were down.
Yeah, where was his head movement?
And where was his head movement? I mean, he was moved a little bit in the beginning. The consequences are so scary.
MMA?
Yeah, very little head movement.
No head movement.
Yeah, very little.
No head movement.
Some guys are picking up.
Muay Thai too.
Yeah.
No, especially Muay Thai. No head movement.
Right, a lot of straight center line.
Yeah.
Well, when I think guys like Simon Marcus start working with Floyd Mayweather Sr. and then other...
When did you start working with him?
I don't know.
How long has he been with them?
I don't know. I just watch videos online.
I'm like, I want to see before and after. Can I see one?
Simon Marcus #1.
I want to see improvements.
Well, I'm sure he's improving, but
see
I
it.
don't know. He's still pretty young. I mean, Simon's only like 30. Simon Marcus, #1 on Instagram. I think the real problem with Muay Thai and even with kickboxing is just a lack of promotion and a lack of understanding from the general public. To me, I get very excited whenever a Glory event is on. Here he is. Whenever a Glory event is on, give me a little. Here it is. It's been an amazing year. It's an honor and pleasure to be able to work with boxing legend Floyd Mayweather Jr. Sr. Before I left the gym, he said, "Kid, you're going to be all right." So it looks good there, you know. But, I mean, you're talking about a guy with just a tremendous amount of understanding of boxing. Did you ever see when he fought Sugar Ray Leonard?
He's bending his legs finally. Simon Marcus.
Right.
Oh, he's shifting his weight too.
As opposed to, like, the Muay Thai style. Yeah.
It's hard for him though. Mm-hmm. You see, it's not like it's not loose and easy. It's like
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's hard for him to rotate.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? Because
Yeah.
he's a world champion, and he's a devastating striker, and he's fucked a lot of people up. But the limitations of the style that he imposes, and the way he does it, when he's trying to learn a different, more smooth way of doing things, you see the stiffness.
So when the boxing, they generate that power from the feet and the like rotating and the, you know what I mean, like kind of like a gas pedal and a brake.
Right.
They're like And in Muay Thai, it's not like that. When they punch, they're like
When you say it, like explain it for people just listening, because that's probably half the crowd.
Sorry.
They're like, what the fuck is this bitch doing?
So like for instance, the rear foot would be the gas, and then the front foot would be the brake. So you hit the gas, and you're going to go into this sprint. But as soon as you start getting the velocity for the sprint, you bam, put the brake down, and then with that counter, the contradiction, the opposing forces, it erupts out the top from your arms and your fists into a powerful punch. And I think with Muay Thai, they just like step forward instead of rotating from their torso.
Why do you think they do
from
that?
their feet and their torso?
Is there a benefit to that, or does it complement the style of kicking?
Probably more complementing the style of kicking. But I think that if you allow for rotation in your punches, you allow for the rotation in your feet so you can generate more power in your punches, you can still then take the necessary step out at an angle and then stepping high with your feet and get a great kick too. Like it just you can have both. You can have the best of both worlds.
Who do you think combines the two things the best?
Oh, I love Petrosian.
Petrosian's one of the best ever.
Fucking love that guy. He's
so technical.
Amazing. He's amazing.
That was what we were going to watch. Petrosian versus Andy Sauer.
Yeah.
No,
and Masato's face.
Yeah. This is just like, fuck.
So good.
I think it's about time.
It's like,
get the fuck out of this sport.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That was so good.
Well, Petrosian still's at the top of the game.
Is it? How many years has it been?
It's been a bunch.
10?
I mean, he lost to Andy Risty, right? Was it Andy Risty that KO'd him?
Oh, what? I have to. That's another.
Yeah.
Okay, now I will. I don't want to deal with paper, but I need to see this.
Giorgio Petrosian's Instagram.
Risty?
Is this where he got KO'd, or is this the Sauer fight?
This is the Sauer fight.
This is the Sauer fight.
He was so young here.
Wow, it might not be in Risty. See, you can't Google it while you're doing this, can you?
I got one at a
That's
time.
all right. We'll get to that afterwards, but yeah.
Oh, and so Sauer had this cut under his
Before the
eye.
fight.
Yeah, and then it kind of goes like bleeding a little bit, and then in his eye, and this is assumptive on my part, but in his eyes, when you look at him like interacting with the doctor, it looks like, oh yeah, it's bad. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like what? It's further down in the fight, but
Well, Giorgio is so technical, and one of the more interesting things to me with Giorgio is watching him train, because a lot of it is drilling. I mean, they do so much drilling.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense because then you can get out of the way.
Yeah, well, he knows exactly what to do. His brain and his mind are in sync with what to do in the middle of a furious battle, so that he doesn't have to think too much.
So see that Masato's excited. He's like, excited. This is exciting. What's going to happen? Not towards the end. Look at those fucking horses.
Yeah. Once
K1
he starts,
was awesome.
Yeah, K1's fucking amazing. I just wish that kickboxing got more press and more excitement in America, because I think it's more exciting than boxing. There's more to look at. And you're seeing with American champions, you're seeing fantastic knockouts. You're seeing amazing wins. I mean, the only one who's really doing all the sports at a high level is Gaston. Gaston
Okay,
Bolanos.
see, look at his face now.
He's like,
He's like, wait a minute.
This is after the first round.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
What time? When does this go to the distance?
Yeah, I think it did.
Get into like the end rounds when Petrosian really starts tuning him up.
Yeah.
He's so interesting because he would just sort of find out where your openings were, and where the rhythm was, and where to move and where not to move, and where you're making mistakes, like a computer.
Yeah,
and you'd just see him plug in the techniques to fill those holes, and you'd see like the little subtle steps, and you know.
He always knows what you're gonna throw next, or where you're gonna be, or what you're gonna do. You know.
Yeah.
He's so amazing.
No,
There's the cut.
He's one of the best ever for sure.
Yeah.
And just an interesting guy to watch.
He doesn't look like he's doing much. Like
Right.
look at that. He barely moved.
Right, doesn't look
Like
like
Sauer's
he's doing
like
much
in and out,
different.
bouncing, but Petrosian's just right there. He's barely moving. Look at that.
Just moving just enough.
Yeah.
Somebody KO'd him in Glory, and like I said, I think it's Andy Risty.
Yes.
Pull up
I need to see that.
Giorgio Petrosian's record.
Okay. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it was really shocking, and it was in the big Madison Square Garden debut. They were in the theater
Risty's-
at
he's
Madison
black,
Square
right?
Garden. Yeah,
And it's like lanky. Okay.
power striker.
Did I see this?
I think it was Risty.
Might have seen
Is
this.
it Risty? Yeah, it was. He hits fucking hard, and he caught Giorgio, and boom, the lights went out. Yeah, first round too.
What?
Yeah, it was crazy. And again, this was like Glory had seriously hyped up the fact that Giorgio Petrosian's like one of the best ever and undefeated, fantastic record. And Andy Risty,
Maybe it was the beard.
I don't think it was. I think he just got clipped. And maybe it was also a lot of pressure, right? You know, fighting in Madison Square Garden, fighting in Glory, putting all this stuff behind him. And you know, the thing is, too, nobody
So
ever
awkward.
knows what the fuck is going on with a fighter when they're coming into a fight, right? You could be dealing with injuries, sickness, training camp, bad weight cut, girlfriend.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were talking about how they were dealing with their coach, drug use,
The coach had a drug problem?
and they weren't there for them for the fight, and so they went into world title defense like that.
You say it wasn't the first round. I was wrong because it looks like here we are in the second or third. This is the third? Yeah. This is the third. So it was in the third round. My memory's not that good, see?
This guy just made it a brawl.
Yes. Well, he
He made it ugly. He's like, no respect.
He also fucking hits super hard, man. That's a part of the problem.
This is surprising because Petrosian usually doesn't get entangled like this. You know, he's really good
There it
at
is.
keeping. Oh, can we see that again? Oh, they'll play it again. He's really good at
Left hand.
keeping space. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good at maintaining a good range for himself. But he's getting all entangled up here.
Yeah, I
It's
wonder what
weird.
he thinks about this fight. I would love to hear it. I would love to hear like what was wrong, like what leading up to this fight. Speaks Italian.
Get it translated.
Oh fuck.
It's
I've
worth
done
it.
that before with Yoel Romero. I had Joey Diaz translate for Yoel Romero.
Have you seen that meme
Which
of him?
one?
Like it or not, this is
I've
a
seen a million memes with that.
40-year-old not on steroids, jammed full of Jesus.
Yeah. Oh. Like it or not.
He's like,
I mean,
he's
that is
standing there like
what he
this.
is.
It's amazing.
He's a genetic freak.
Yeah.
But you know, he was on the podcast. He was talking about it. He's like, go to Cuba. He goes like, everybody looks like me. He's like, there's fucking genes down there. But it kind of makes sense. You know, I mean, the slave trade led to all these like
breeding,
and not just that, but also high level athletic pursuits, right? Because they put so much emphasis on athletes and so much emphasis on, you know, they probably have athletes fuck other athletes. You know, I mean, if you get Serena
breeding.
Williams and LeBron James to have a kid, what are the odds that kid's not a bad motherfucker? It's 0%, right? That kid would be a beast, right? He'd be a super athlete.
they should sell their egg or their sperm.
Sell everything, sell it all, put it together, combine it, mix it up.
I'd love to see that.
Can you imagine if like two super athletes just decided like, hey baby, I got an idea.
Yeah.
Like let's just find out we can get along.
Yeah.
Let's just make a kid.
Or like
You
not even like you know, hey baby, just like, hey, you want to just do a thing?
Yeah,
like,
but then you
let's
have
just
to
do an
raise the kid and
experiment.
not fuck it up.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But
It'd be like a business contract.
Yes, but here's the thing, and this I wanted to talk to you about because I know you had a rough childhood. The reality is a certain amount of fucking you up gives you a certain amount of fuel that allows you to accomplish things that a person with a cushy life and always had a warm bed and always had plenty of love, you have a gear.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
Yeah, you have a gear that someone who lived a wonderful life with perfect environment and perfect upbringing probably doesn't have.
It's more like, okay, I'll do it alone.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Right, but it's also the need to do it alone. The need to prove people. The need to show people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Everybody I know that's interesting had a fucked up childhood.
Really?
Yep. I don't know anybody that didn't.
You too?
Yeah.
Really?
Sure.
Huh.
Yeah. Haven't talked to my dad since I was 7. He's alive.
You're
He's got
like
the same name as
so
me.
cuddly and not bitter.
Well, I'm a nice person. And I have a lot of nice friends.
Yeah.
But I've cultivated this.
Yeah.
This is something that I've actively cultivated for decades.
Yeah.
I've worked really hard to be a nice person.
Yeah.
And I know the benefit of being a nice person, like how it makes me feel, how it
Yeah.
makes other people
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
And I know that spreads and it makes other people nicer. And I work on it hard. Got to keep the wolf in a cage. Always.
Let it out sometimes.
Sometimes. Let it out.
Sometimes.
I remember one time when you and I were at a Muay Thai event together. You were there, and I ran into you there, and it's funny watching fights with you because you were like gritting your teeth, and you were like, and then you looked over at me, and goes, don't you want to just fuck somebody up? Don't you want to just smash somebody's fucking face? I'm like, damn, Miriam, I gotta get the fuck away from you.
When was this?
It was a long time ago in LA. Remember LA had that pro Muay Thai thing where who fought? Buakaw fought. It was a good event.
Oh my God. So you know what that was? It was Muay Thai League.
Yes.
So you know what it was?
What?
I had an ACL surgery.
Right.
And I couldn't fight.
That's right.
And I was supposed to fight.
Right.
I was seething.
Yes, you were seething.
I was fucking seething. And I was watching these fights and they were fucking garbage.
Yes.
And I couldn't fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2000. Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, I would beat these bitches.
I really wish
couldn't
that
fight.
event took off because that was fun. It was great having that in LA. Ernesto Hoos was doing the commentary as well. And yeah.
Didn't Valentina fight in that?
I think she did.
I would been very curious to see how Valentina versus Julie Kitchen would have turned out.
Yeah. Well,
That'd be interesting.
I'm really curious to see how she does in the UFC at 125 pounds. She's a beast because
She's going to be strong at that weight. That's her weight.
Yeah.
She's not a 135. Right? Do you
Right.
see how she looks like fighter fit, like lean and cut
Right.
and ripped? Like even her legs. When she was 135, her legs look soft. You know,
and she's still winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She dropped Holly Holm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, Holly Holm's like a 145er.
Probably.
You know, like
Well, she
she's
fought at
comfortably
145, yeah.
comfortably be at 145. It's not
Yeah.
like, oh, they're going a 135 or going up to 145. She's like a big ass 135er.
And she went the
know?
distance with Cyborg.
Yeah.
At 145, which
Yep.
is that's a statement in and of itself.
Yeah. Well, it's
know?
just a boxer,
Yeah.
so they're used to getting hit. It's different,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, and I think she got fucked in the title fight when she fought Durandamy. I think
yeah.
she should have won that fight.
For
I
sure.
really do. And I think
And the cheap shot.
The cheap shot, two cheap shots, two of them after the bell. One of them
Yep.
that significantly hurt her. And I
Yep.
think points should have been taken away for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a crazy sport.
Holly Holm's amazing.
She is.
I think as a person, I've never met her, but she just
She's the
seems
sweetest
like
person ever.
she seems really sweet, and she just seems like I was listening to her interviews. You know, it's just man, she seems just like a really uplifted, genuine person. You know, a super humble. You know,
She really is, which is one of the weirder moments. Why it was such a weird moment, rather, when Ronda Rousey at the weigh-ins was like, "You fucking bitch, you're a fucking fake," and she was in her face, and it was weird. It was like, where's this? It was like almost like she wanted her to be the enemy, so that she could get amped up to kick her ass. So she was saying a bunch of things that didn't even make sense.
maybe Ronda was kind of at a breaking point too. just as far as like workload, stress level, expectations, you know, obligations. And when I saw that weigh-in, actually, I watched that probably at least 5 times. Like I just replayed it because I like to watch people interact and how they react. I love it. Yeah. And I noticed like when I saw that, I'm like, oh, Holly's got this. And I wish I'd fucking bet money. I totally wish I did. But I was watching that, I was like, oh.
Just thought because Ronda seemed so emotional.
It was the way Holly reacted. That's why. She just like, Ronda came in her space. Holly just like stepped back, like kept proper distance, you know, like defensive distance. Super low key. Watch her reaction.
Yeah, she stayed calm for sure.
Yeah.
That's skinny Ronda too. That's weigh-in Ronda, which is like she's depleted.
Yeah. Yeah, she was kind of.
She was look how much different she looked when she was weighing in.
But they
tied up and Holly didn't give any ground either.
She's just like
she stayed calm.
She backed up, but like she backed up like I'm ready to hit you. Backed up. She didn't back up like And then so Ronda was super like emotional too. She was funny. She was like, I was just trying to get a drink.
Yeah.
I just thought I was having a drink. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. And then Ronda was like, she was super, right?
I think
and you never saw her like that. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you nailed it as far as the breaking point.
Yeah.
She got sucked into all the Hollywood bullshit. They were putting her in movies and TV shows, and she was on different talk shows.
What was the hype to like, oh, could she beat Cain Velasquez? Could she? You know, and it's like, oh my God, look what she's doing to these women. Could she? Remember that?
Right, yeah.
There's like,
right. Yeah.
Wow. They created
she was a
huge,
superstar.
Like,
you know, look, I was a part of it.
She still is.
I mean, she is now.
Yeah,
but she's
now still a superstar.
Now she's a WWE superstar. It's just a different kind of superstar.
Come back.
You think she should?
Yeah.
What makes you say that?
Like, don't go out like that.
This is Miriam talking now. It's a different person.
I don't know. She deserves better than to go out the way, you know, her last fight.
Well, she deserves exactly what she got.
This
is what I think.
She's better than that.
I think you're right. I think you're right that she's better than that.
I'm not saying, oh, it's bad that she got punched like that. No. I'm saying she deserves better than that to like represent herself better than
her legacy.
Like, yeah.
I don't think that matters to her as much as it matters to other folks. I think she really cemented her legacy as one of the greatest women's MMA champions ever and a pioneer. But I also think that women's MMA has evolved so fast that within the brief time that she was running shit, the sport passed her by. And when you see the one that I was always worried about with her was Amanda, because I was like, Amanda Nunes has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and nasty hands. Like, to me,
and judo too, right?
I think she has some judo. I don't know what her ranking is.
She's not belted in judo?
I don't know. She could be.
Okay.
But I know she's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I know she had heavy hands. And my thought was that Ronda, although she was developing good striking skills, she was known for her judo and her arm bars. That's her big thing. And the striking skills were sort of like something that was happening along the way, and she was starting to catch girls. But she was catching girls like Betch Correia and, you know, and
Alexis Davis.
Yeah. And beating them down when she gets them down. They're not nearly on the level of an Amanda Nunes. Like, you're not going to catch her like that.
Or Holly Holm.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And my thought was that if it was going to go down, it was going to be Amanda, because Amanda just hit so fucking hard. Yeah. And then, so when she came back and immediately fought for the world title against Amanda.
She needed a gimme.
Fuck yeah. She needed a different camp.
And I think that's fair.
She needed a revamping of her approach. She needed a lot of things.
Yeah.
She needed a lot of things. Because people knew, first of all, she never shoots for doubles. She's not taking you down with a lower body attack. It's always upper body. And it's always a clinch. And she clinches with her left arm. I mean, Greg Jackson and Jackson Winklejohn, they all figured that out. And Holly had the solution for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? And also, this other thing is when you get fucking head kicked into oblivion that way, like, you need a lot of time off. You know, a lot of time with no sparring, no nothing.
Especially just being so high. Like, being so untouchable and high. And then coming crashing down to earth like that. So rough. That's definitely like a big who am I moment, I think.
I'm sure. Yeah. Well, like
Because
you
it
were
was the
talking
whole world
about,
too.
right? But you were talking about you trying to figure out who you are when you couldn't train anymore.
Yeah, and I had that on such a
Small scale,
a private
in comparison.
scale,
Right? Private scale,
and hers
large
was
personally, but private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and hers is the world,
Yes,
and and
the whole world.
And mine was like more tragic, and hers was more humiliating. You know,
how was yours more tragic?
it happened in the third round of a fight, world title fight, MMA. It wasn't a clear, like, it happened on a takedown. It wasn't a takedown that twerked or tweaked my knee or grabbed on my knee, or it was, I pushed against them while my body was like this, parallel to the ground. And I tore my own ACL. Yeah. So it was like.
Why is that more tragic?
Because it was more like, no.
No?
I think it's more humiliating to get knocked out, in my opinion, to get knocked out.
Sure.
Than it is to get like injured out, like tear out, like still fighting, and then you step back and everything slips and you fall.
Right.
Because your knee can't, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I mean when I say tragic.
Oh, I see what you're
Or
saying.
if you're like winning the fight, and then
Unfortunate.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more
Unfortunate, and then your identity stripped away. But again, yours is private, hers is public. But at least you understand what it's like to not be that person who you counted on you being that person. It was part of your shield that you put on to go through the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So her persona, she was damn good at it too, and then it's like stripped away.
Well, she was the first. Well, Gina Carano was the first, right? That people sort of identified with, like, wow, here's this pretty girl who kicks ass, and this is crazy. We've never seen this before. But it was at a smaller scale. People just didn't kind of understand who she was or what she was.
MMA wasn't as big yet.
It wasn't nearly as big.
Yeah.
It was tiny in comparison.
Yeah.
But then when Ronda came along, it was like this perfect storm. It's like the UFC was huge, everything was taking off, and then here's this girl who's just fucking everybody up.
Hers was much more violent to me than Gina's. Like you're getting slammed.
Right.
And just like, you know what I mean?
And getting your arm broke.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Like gruesome.
Yeah.
Super
Like
gruesome.
when she fought Misha and cranked her arm
and
all fucked up.
Misha was amazing.
She
Not
wouldn't even
tapping.
tap.
Fuck, man.
Snapped her arm in half.
God damn.
Yeah, and she's still not tapping.
It's like a tearing the chicken with the
Exactly.
Yeah. Misha's a badass for that one.
Now, during all this time, I mean, this is when Ronda's taking off and when Holly's taking off and Amanda Nunes is taking off. All this time is when you're at your peak. You're at your peak as a fighter, and then you're dealing with all these fucking injuries, and you're working your way to get into this circus. I mean, you're working your way to step into this arena. I mean, this is like ultimately this was your goal.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that like to be just sitting down there dealing with all this bullshit?
Watching everybody else do it.
Yeah.
It was maddening.
Well, I think about the time that I was sitting next to you watching those fights.
Yeah.
And you're like, do you want to fucking smash him? I'm like, Jesus, Miriam.
Yeah.
You're making me fucking nervous.
It was worse, actually. So that time I only blew up to 165. This time I blew up to 186.
Damn.
Yeah, that was big.
Well, you
Huge.
drinking?
That's almost
Was it
190.
booze? That's almost 190, which is
Yeah.
almost 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was I'm drinking, and it was an eating ride, and I was, just a bunch of stuff.
So how'd you turn it around?
Ultimately, I think, so I taught Rock Steady Boxing. It's Rock Steady Boxing is a program for people with Parkinson's disease, and it teaches them how to box, and that helps them with their symptoms and their quality. It improves their quality of life and gives them a community to be in. And the interesting about Rock Steady Boxing was I thought it was a terrible fit, and I was terrified that I was going to hurt them, and it actually was the best fit. And they loved being in my classes, and I loved teaching them, and like honestly, they healed my heart. Like they healed that not good enough that I felt.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So that's so teaching and helping people is
Yeah.
what brought it around for you.
Yeah, I mean, and like understanding that, you can definitely understand like my body is doing this and I want to do that, and I can't do anything about it, you know, and that frustration, and it's infuriating, and I'm like watching them go through what they go through, and it's just incredible, and they just show up and they just work so hard and they're just fighting. It's great, little grandmas and grandpas.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you see the Rock City video?
No.
The Uber?
The Uber?
Yeah, the Uber did a mini documentary on me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
How long is the mini documentary? Can we watch
10
it?
minutes.
No, we'll get kicked off the internet if we pull it off.
Yeah.
We put it on YouTube. People always claim it. Or we got our videos taken down, unfortunately.
Oh.
But I'll watch it afterwards and I'll tweet it.
Yeah.
I'll put it up. That's fucking awesome,
It's
though.
like it might make you tear up a little bit.
I tear up easy.
Me too. I'm a crier. Like it's not just like sad. I'm happy, I'll cry. I've actually, after you asked me to be on this podcast, I was having moments of like kind of crying ever since. Because I was just like, I was just like, holy shit. So for me, coming back to fighting, Kyrian was like, we were talking about a game plan about coming back, and he's like, okay, so this is what I think. I think, you know, getting the right fight, like getting a Muay Thai fight, maybe the WBC diamond belt, and that is like all I wanted when I was active fighting 5 years. That's all I fucking wanted. Like it hurt my heart that they wouldn't sanction that for women. It was so frustrating to me. And he's talking about that, and he's like, yeah, we'll get this fight, and then that'll be your way to come back. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want another world title. I have enough. Like, how much fucking good enough do I need to be? I'm done. Like, I just want to be paid. Like, just fuck you, pay me. That's all I want. Like, and so when
You say that, but once you start preparing.
No, I'm still going to do the fucking best of my ability.
Yeah.
But I'm not, like, I would take a fight that's $1,500, $3,000 for a world title. To get a chance to fight for that world title. Like, now I'm like, hell no. No, I will take a non-world title fight that pays more over a world title opportunity.
Well, are you looking to compete now in MMA? Are you looking to compete in Muay Thai? Are you looking to compete in kickboxing?
I'm looking to compete in whatever pays me.
You're in cha-ching.
Yeah.
You're in
So
dollar mode.
When you asked me to be on this podcast, and I was like, holy shit. So this in turn would get my followers up, which in turn would make it so I could get paid more the next time I fight. Do you see that?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so, like, thank you so much. And I was just like, you know, I was just feeling like my eyes welling up with tears. And I felt hella nervous. I was like, oh my God. I was like, how many subscribers on this shit? Oh, Jesus Christ.
You can't pay attention to that.
But, well, I was like...
You seem like you're doing a good job of not paying attention to it.
I'm microdosing today. No. But what I said to myself, because I did feel very nervous, and I do still, but what I said to myself was like, well, it wouldn't be happening if you weren't ready. So this didn't happen before when you were active fighting, you're winning all these world titles, like, you weren't ready. So you're ready now.
Well, that's a good attitude.
Yeah.
But I would have had John back then, too.
I wasn't ready.
I'm sure you would have been fine.
No, I wasn't ready.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Because I think I didn't know myself the way I know myself now. I didn't trust myself. I didn't have everything taken, all my strength taken away from me.
Right.
And then
Have to
come
rebuild.
out of it by I mean, like, one of the things that the Rock City boxing got me back and like helped heal my heart, but also the other thing was like, I kept trying to train, I kept trying to get better, I kept trying to, you know, and lose weight, and but my knee was still fucking with me, and I'd get inflammation and this and that, and so finally I just said, you know what? I think Dominic Cruz did this too, where he's just like, maybe I don't get to fight again. Like maybe that's just what it is, and I'm not crying, you're crying.
It's okay.
I just made...
You can cry.
Well, hold it. Okay.
I've cried on this podcast before.
I made peace with that. And then things started getting better. I don't know why or how, but like somehow like fixating it wouldn't let me move forward. Like it just kept holding on to it. Like wasn't working, or I just said, okay, then I don't get to fight again. All right, let it go. And that's when it came back to me. So I don't know.
Do you think that? I think that for the average person that's watching this and doesn't understand this fixation on fighting, I think it comes back to what we were talking about before, that it's so difficult and so rewarding and so impossible, and you're finding out about yourself during this struggle. And then
it is my therapy.
Yeah.
It doesn't so I used to do a lot of drugs. Like I used to do meth where I weighed 126 pounds. I'm 5'9". That's not normal for me. And I did so much partying, so much drugs, so much like self-abuse. And then I started training. And I used to smoke a pack of Marlboro Reds a day. You know, I would go on benders and stay up like 4 or 5 days in a row, you know. And I started training Muay Thai. And that's when I stopped. Like, it wasn't immediate. It wasn't like quick cold turkey. You know, I just, like, over time, as I moved towards the goal of fighting, and it took me, I think, 5 years before I fought. So I started training Muay Thai. It took me 5 fucking years. And I stopped doing drugs. I stopped partying. I stopped smoking. I started having a more disciplined, regimented lifestyle. And it was just through fighting. Some people get sober through working the steps. Training was my steps. Training was my way of getting to know myself and getting to sift through what wasn't me and what was me. I was told a lot of things that I was when I was a kid, and I come to find out I wasn't those things. I'm hardworking, I'm disciplined, I'm intelligent, I'm all these other things that I was never told I was, you know, and it was all through fighting. So yeah.
Well, fighting gave you a venue. It gave you
then training.
Yes.
But I think fighting made me... No, because if only I'd trained, I wouldn't have gone as deep as I needed to go to get to the shit.
Right.
That fucking, like, you know, the hard crust layer that you gotta fucking dig you under and, like, get in there and sort through that surface stuff. Yeah.
You would have polished yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have
healed you,
changed my makeup, or even allowed me to be who I am. You know? Yeah. Like right now, it's kind of a trip. Like I feel like I'm in bloom. I'm just learning faster than I ever have. It's easy. And like Dave was tripping out on me because he was watching me train or watching stuff I was doing, and it's so much easier to do the things without bullshit in the way.
Bullshit in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bullshit
in my brain, my emotions, my like these limiting beliefs about myself. It's so much easier. And that, or to finally be able to be in a space where I'm like, okay, you're doing this. What am I doing? Okay, I'm not matching what you're doing. Or what are you feeling? What am I feeling? Where I think a lot of people, when they first start out, they just do what they're told instead of questioning the concept, questioning the, you know. So it's just, I think the more mature I get, the easier, the more I know myself, so the easier it is to get the information that I need to master the thing.
But this is always the big race. The big race is to achieve maturity before your body does.
Yeah.
Before your
it's
body.
A lot of wear and tear on this body.
Well, on everyone's. I mean, especially anybody in combat sports.
Sports at 42.
Yeah. And to be able to achieve enough mental maturity while your body is still pliable and viable. Yeah. And it still works and you can still execute. You still have vitality.
Isn't Demetrius Johnson amazing?
Fucking amazing.
He's so amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm not even thinking about all the incredible things he does within a fight. I'm thinking about his post-fight interview.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's amazing.
Yeah, no, he's an awesome dude.
He's so just like right there.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, no, this is what I do, and this is what's going to happen, and we plan for this, and da-da-da-da, and that's it. Yeah. Super matter of fact.
Well, his coach, Matt Hume, is one of the greats. Absolutely.
I'd love to meet that guy. I'd just love to watch that training happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just like get to be able to pick up on the energy and the magic in the room.
Well, I like the fact that he's now going to ONE FC. and ONE FC is going to pay him a fuckload of money. And
That's
the
awesome.
UFC's in this weird state where the reality financially about the flyweight division is just not a big sell. It's not like people are dying to watch 125-pound dudes fight.
People don't like tiny men.
That's weird.
Someone's
going to take that as a quote. Take that out of context.
Yeah, probably.
And it's going to be a picture of you standing there, jacked with a six-pack with belts on.
Or maybe they're thinking I'm
people
talking
don't
about
like
something
tiny men,
like tiny
Miriam
men, like
Nakamoto.
their other man bits or something
Yes,
fucking
that
weird.
too.
I don't know.
That's also a thing that people don't like.
But the thing is, like, see, like I said, I don't like watching heavyweights fight.
Right.
Like I like watching the smaller weights fight because usually they're more technical.
Well, he's as technical as there's ever been.
And
Yeah.
he moves seamlessly. If this is what I was talking about, being able to be authentic, express yourself from moment to moment, you know, and not have to like play it safe and stay back and stay outside and away.
Right.
And yeah, he's just in there and he flows.
He also
It's effortless.
does what we talked about earlier, where I said that I don't think you should ever fight stupid. That you should fight within the best. So you could express your abilities and your techniques the best, and that's what he does.
Situational condom.
Yeah.
On every, do you know what I mean? Even though he's being offensive, he still has protection.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a situational condom.
Situational condom.
It's a funny way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. What are you leaning towards? I mean, I know you're saying, like, what if you get an equal offer? An equal offer in Muay Thai, an equal offer in MMA? What would you lean towards?
I would want to do MMA, but
Really?
Muay Thai would be, yeah, man. Muay Thai's never fucking loved me back.
Whoa.
Never.
Some serious shit right there.
That's it, man.
Muay
I'm
Thai's
telling
never
you.
loved you back.
Yeah, no. So,
That's some deep childhood shit right there, Miriam.
yeah.
Miriam.
World champion childhood. It's like my baby beginnings as a champion.
So do you also, first of all, you have a massive advantage in stand-up over most girls in MMA. That's also
yeah, but
gotta
it doesn't matter if I don't make the adjustment.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
So I can't think that like, oh, I'm better.
Right.
Because like oftentimes with a lot of MMA fighters, and Cesar Gracie said this to me, he's like, in MMA, the girls, they're like pit bulls. Like they don't have the technique, but they get by on the toughness. Mm-hmm. So like with a pit bull, you have to kill it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of that, for sure.
And that will definitely fluster the fuck out of a high-level striker. I mean, look at the Petrosian and
Andy Risty.
Risty,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Andy Risty's pretty high level, too, though.
But I've never seen... Not
Right.
that I've watched all of Petrosian's fights, but I've
Right.
never seen him get entangled like that
Right.
often.
True.
That is not... And Risty just made it ugly.
Yeah.
He made it a brawl. And
You
that's
should watch
how
the whole fight. It's an interesting fight. But who knows? Like I said, who knows where he was at, what was going on in his head, injuries, sickness. Who knows what
Good
happened?
interview. That beard.
Yeah, the beard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cowboy Cerrone looked as good as he's ever looked in his last fight. He
Yeah,
had
but
a
that's
fat
Cerrone.
beard.
That's not Petrosian. Petrosian's like sexy. He's got the sexy
okay.
stand-up.
Wait,
He's
you're
got
trying to tell me Donald Cerrone's not sexy?
not like the way Petrosian is. Like everything Petrosian is like pretty. The things he does, the way he fights, it's pretty.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's like he's sexy. He's like Petrosian. He's Italian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's Giorgio. Come on.
Okay. Giorgio.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah.
He shouldn't have that fucking
I get
beard.
it. Donald.
Fucked him up. Made him less aerodynamic.
Okay. I don't know about that. I'm a big believer in beard power.
So my dad had a beard growing up, and now I see all these 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds, hipsters with like their beard oil and their beards, and I'm just like,
I
so
think
gross.
I have a real problem with beards with men that look like they would break real easy. You know?
I can't stand men with skinny necks.
Yeah, that's an uncomfortable
And
thing,
like
right?
buff dudes with skinny necks.
That means they're not doing anything.
Because I'm just like, that shit's not real.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
you'll get
bench pressing,
you'll get
doing
fucked
curls.
up. Yeah, that
What if
shit's
somebody
not
grabs
real.
your neck?
You can't fight.
Your head's barely hanging
Yeah,
on there.
yeah. I just tear it off like a chicken.
It's
like
true,
in the
right?
third world country where they just go like that and rip the head off the chicken.
Well, it shows a severe lack of core strength Because like if you're doing like deadlifts and if you're doing anything with your traps, you're gonna develop a thick neck. If you're doing anything where you gotta hoist things up off the ground, you ever look at those motherfuckers in the Olympics that do deadlifts? They have giant ass necks. They're not grappling anybody. They have huge necks.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're doing this all the time.
Oh, okay.
That's all fucking neck and back, and the whole spinal column has to be strong.
You look scary, man.
It's guys that are doing this shit.
Yeah. And then they're posing.
Yeah.
They pose.
What are you showing me?
Oh, man, look at the skinny neck.
Guys with no necks.
Has the modern male become... Yeah, he's got no neck.
Look how skinny his neck is.
Oh,
Look at that.
Preposterous. That is a preposterous neck.
Yeah.
I feel like if you head kicked him, he might die, right? It's not. His head's not going to stay attached.
You just snap that shit down.
Yeah.
Look at Tyson's
not
neck.
good.
Look at that.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Diesel. He's like a pit bull, isn't he?
That was the dark
at him.
days right before. That was the court, but when they were putting him in jail for rape. Yeah.
Did he do it?
What does that article say? If you have a no, I don't believe he did. I might be wrong, but that girl, she falsely accused someone of rape earlier. Oh. Yeah. If you have a thin neck, you're most likely a beta male. How about take out most likely?
What?
How about just you are a beta male? Who's out there running shit with a thin neck?
Yeah.
You can't be running shit with a thin neck. How could you be running shit with a thin neck?
Your mom's house got this guy. You probably
Oh,
haven't
that neck
seen
guy?
Damn long neck.
What do you mean?
He's got the longest,
Who's this guy?
super
Oh,
skinny kid.
I thought
like long neck.
I have seen that guy. Yeah, I thought you were gonna bring up that guy who's been in the internet memes. The dude who's now fighting MMA, black guy, whose neck starts at the top of his head and goes straight down here.
I know.
Is that real?
He's got the craziest neck ever. He's just got a weird neck.
Oh, I thought it was just like distorted. Or
No.
Oh, that's real.
No, there's a bunch of pictures of this
I've
cat.
been seeing that.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
just like, oh, they just did the thing and made it.
They didn't do the thing.
Oh, that's-
This dude has a nutty neck. You know how some girls have giant tits? This guy's just a crazy
giant
neck.
neck.
Yeah, I mean, some people
He's
just
an
have
MMA fighter?
huge hands. He's going to start fighting MMA,
Really?
Where's he from?
but I don't know, probably Florida.
Wait,
If I
what
had to
did
guess,
he do?
I bet he's from Florida. Look at it. Look at his neck. Man, he got arrested again? What does it say?
Yeah.
When did he get arrested?
Like
Well,
a week
how's
after
he-
the first one got
How's he
taken.
gonna fight
look at his neck.
MMA?
Well, someone's going to teach him, but what is going on with that neck? That's his real neck. That is fucking crazy. That's like he's got a double neck.
Maybe he just has a small jaw. No, that is a big neck. What do his parents look like?
I bet they have giant necks too. I bet that shit's
mom or the
epigenetic.
dad?
Mom's a thick old bulldog-looking lady.
5 days ago.
First police mugshot showed off his really big neck. This time he's not smiling. So it's the same.
Yeah.
So he's probably a power lifter or something like that.
Something.
Yeah. And plus got a fucked up neck.
What's
naturally.
his name? They don't know his name?
No need to blow this poor man's spot up just
Oh,
because
all
he's got
right,
a fucked up neck. But I take his neck over the skinny neck. No,
Yeah,
I
me
wouldn't.
too.
You know why? Maybe his neck is like genetically fucked up like that, and maybe the guy with the skinny neck just doesn't work out. Like the
So
situation.
that's what it's not. It doesn't bug me when somebody is just they have a slender neck, but when they go through so much trouble to look like an alpha male,
Right.
but they have that little chicken neck,
Right.
and then they're posing like they're.
That's got to be a
Sometimes,
big
like,
issue with you. Like as a woman, like the way you interact with men. As a world champion Muay Thai woman,
Yeah, I haven't figured that out.
you have to have a hard time with the men.
I do.
I bet you do.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you need to get a real one, like a real one. Like that's the only way it's gonna work.
Yeah, it doesn't. No. Yeah.
Imagine it's hard out there for a pimp. It is, right?
So he was a great boyfriend, but we went out of country. We fought on the same card. He fought the day before me. I fought the next day. During the fight, he almost gets knocked out. As this guy is mauling him, he goes like this. What do you think I was thinking?
Not good thoughts.
The boyfriend.
That your
My
boyfriend was-
like this.
Yeah, you didn't like it.
Fuck no.
Did it turn you off?
Oh my God, so much.
Whoa.
I was like, dude, you're getting fucked up, and as you're falling to the canvas, you still need to go fuck you.
Wow.
You're like, fuck you, like that.
So the way he
Has
was
to
getting
be.
beaten was fucking with you.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that he was getting beaten.
I
It
don't
was
care.
just
I don't know.
that he was like
I don't
shying
care.
away.
Yeah, I don't care if
he wasn't
You're
digging
not
in.
gonna. Yeah.
Right.
Like you gotta fucking like take that shit.
Take it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like like a champ or like a fighter.
Right.
Yeah, you can't be like
Wow.
that. Was,
Was that the
And he was-
beginning of the end?
yeah.
That was
And he
tap,
was a
tap, tap.
great
First couple of
boyfriend. He
nails.
was great.
Tap, 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 tap.
Yes, it was.
Tap, tap, tap.
It was.
Maybe sometimes it's like that's the problem. It's like the balance. The ones who are not going to be great boyfriends are the ones that are going to turn you on because
Yeah.
they're ruthless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I can balance that shit.
Like I
I
said,
can be ruthless.
yeah,
And be like gentle. I was like, I don't.
not well. I mean, I'm
It's
sure
like
some
salt,
men can.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My kale chips. It's great.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't get it.
Some people can.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think your requirements, particularly as a fighter, they're going to be extraordinarily high. As a world champion fighter,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Or
You're almost
sometimes.
better off dating a guy who's like a Navy SEAL or something who can't fight.
Oh, there's
or
an
maybe
idea.
can fight, but he's not a fighter.
Yeah.
He doesn't, he knows how to fight. but
He's a
not,
killer.
He's a killer. but
Not a
he's
fighter. Yeah.
He's not in there fight. Maybe like you could relate more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Trying to
think
give
that
you
would be.
dating advice.
I think that's what I'll try it out and I'll let you know.
Well, I think that I've noticed this. I mean, except for the ones that are lesbians, I always look at women who are fighters and I go, like they're limited in their dating pool.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
girls who are fighters, they don't want to date someone who can't fight. The last thing a girl wants who's like a professional fighter.
Or if somebody was really smart,
Yeah, but even if the guy's really smart,
because then they like, as long as they ace me somewhere, they have to be really. You're like no.
you could say that. But you're trying to find a nice man. And you're like, maybe I can compromise. No, you need a killer.
No, what bothered me about that was like, you're a fighter, but you're not being a fighter.
Right.
I'm just like,
You're not savage ugh. Well, you're worried that if the shit hits the fan, that's what every woman is worried. If the shit hits the fan, how do you react? How do you react? And you don't really know until you see someone react when the shit hits the fan. And when you see the shit hitting the fan, you see them going, yikes! Ah! You're like, fuck! I can't count on you.
see, I think you would have been better outside of the fighting situation
Outside.
if the shit hit the fan.
So
So
in
for
the real
me,
world,
it was definitely like
Right.
fighters, ego. Like, nah, dude, you need to have more pride
Right.
than that.
well, how you do anything is how you do everything,
Okay. All right. Maybe, yeah.
especially under duress. I mean, people
Yeah,
make
that's true.
mistakes, people panic, people learn from those mistakes. I mean, there are people that fold in fights that come back way stronger and will never fold because they folded before and they felt it. Because they made
Yeah.
a mistake. You make a split-second decision in the middle of a fight and and something inside you it exposes weakness that maybe you weren't prepared for the world to see. And then when you feel the pain of that weakness, you make a vow that you're never going to experience that again. That's entirely possible. I feel like mental strength is not, I don't think you either have it or you don't have it. I don't buy that shit. I think you can develop it. I think you can build it. And I think mental toughness and just the ability to persevere is something that you can cultivate.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So maybe he
It's like
needed
a
to
callus.
feel shying away and feel you going, hey, motherfucker, when you're getting hit, don't do any of this shit. Maybe
Yeah.
someone needs to hear that so then when it's happening, they go, fuck that, I'm not doing this anymore.
Dig
and then they
deep. Yeah.
dig deep and step to the side or clinch or do
It's
something.
just like go
fight
out like
back.
a warrior.
Yeah.
You know?
Or figure your way, a better response to the situation. Then again, sometimes you get clipped and your neuromuscular system just goes, and everything's just off. It's just you're not responding right because your system's getting shut
But
down.
it was more like, get away from me.
That's not good.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Miriam, we just did 2.5 hours.
What?
Flew by. It's 4:30.
That wasn't scary at all.
It wasn't scary at all. I told you, my friend. We're gonna take care of you. We're all good.
Thanks, man.
Listen,
That's awesome.
we'll have you on again when you have a fight scheduled, and we'll pump that shit up.
'Kay.
Okay. Let me know when. Let me know what it is.
Bare
We'll fire
knuckle
it up.
boxing.
Whatever, maybe, right? They're doing a lot of that. You got to go to Wyoming and do it on a ranch or something, right?
Pay well.
Does it pay well?
Yeah.
Does it?
Way more.
Really?
I know somebody that did 4 rounds for 10,000. 4 rounds for 10,000. Yes.
You say that like that's a lot of money.
For that? Mm-hmm. For just boxing, 4 rounds?
But boxing bare knuckle, what if you break your hands? We'll talk. Tell people how to find you on Instagram, on Twitter, all that stuff.
Oh, Miriam Nakamoto.
Spell it out so people know.
Miriam Nakamoto. Okay, that's not
figure out
helpful.
Nakamoto.
Nakamoto.
It's on my Instagram. She's linked. She'll be linked there. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Miriam. Appreciate you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.